Just a Rinnegan? That's not enough. I want the Tenseigan too. Hey. Look who's back for more adventures. We love having you here to continue this story that keeps us all awake. Important note, all of this is pure fiction, so don't try any techniques you hear here in real life. Your neighbor might call the cops. This amazing novel and all its rights belong to the original author. We're just the ones giving it voice and drama. Are you enjoying the show? Prove it by subscribing to our YouTube channel and leaving that like that motivates us so much. And if you want VIP access to exclusive content, our Patreon is waiting with things you won't find anywhere else. Chapter 1. Brother G, don't. Yuanjie pulled the quilt over his head and buried it. Let me sleep a little longer. The other party's voice seemed a little annoyed. You can get up? I said okay last night, go early to awaken a physique. Ah. How do you? After speaking, Yuanjie felt that his body was cold, and he rubbed his eyes, with confusion. He only saw a tall figure with a very simple bald head. You get dressed quickly, I'll wait for you outside. The woman opened her fingers and said to him. Yuanjie looked down. The secret road is bad. When can his bad habits be changed? Yuanjie Mari's washing and dressing took only 2 minutes and 13 seconds to complete all the procedures. Early, Yuanjie greeted the back, thinking about when his sister had grown taller. He didn't pay attention to it, and walked to the table to pick up a bun and nibble. The woman gently pulled away her bangs, revealing a delicate face, and her cheeks were still crimson. Yuanjie's eyes widened. The bun was still biting in his mouth, and half of it fell into the porridge without knowing it. You are Li Tiansha glanced at him angrily, and took a bite of the bun fiercely. What's wrong? Forget me when you get asleep? At this moment, a surge of memories hit his nerves. After his eyes were clear, he looked at the person in front of him with a complicated face. How he crossed, he didn't remember. He only knew that he came here when he woke up. This is a magical time, the revival of Reiki, the awakening of the whole people, and the rampant of ghosts and monsters. This is also a chaotic era, with constant disputes among countries, and every day there are people who sacrifice for the survival of the country. This is another strange world, obviously full of modern high technology, but it is the social system of the ancient feudal dynasty. In this life, his parents died unexpectedly as early as when he was 5 years old, and the cause of death is unknown. Only he and his sister, who is 3 years older, are left to rely on. Yuanjie shook his head helplessly. I can't think of wearing you, but I can't wear my parents again, and sitting in front of him was actually like the college flower he had secretly loved for 3 years in his previous life, Li Tiansha. Li Tiansha is one of the difficulties in his previous life. Exactly the same as in the past, Li Tiansha is also pure and elegant even if he does not apply powder, which is heart-pounding. It's just that now their relationship is awkward, both roommates and buddies. In the previous life, they had a secret love for each other, and they almost became dependents, and in this life they became good buddies? Not the relationship he expected. In this life, I wonder if there is a chance to achieve positive results. Li Tiansha bit his lips lightly, and his eyes seemed to be about to burst into flames. What to see? Nerd, eat breakfast quickly, you will have to wait in a long line when you are late. Yuanjie looked out the window and said helplessly, but shallow, the sky is not bright outside. You're right to listen to me. The sky was white with fish belly, and at this time, there was already a long queue at the gate of Zhanghua No. 1 middle school. I'm Zhou, why so many people? Even more exaggerated than the crazy Thursday of that year. Yuanjie looked at the team of heads in front of him in shock. Li Tian raised his little powder fist and said viciously. It's all to blame for you getting up late. With so many people, when do you have to queue? Everyone please line up in an orderly manner, in groups of 10, please don't be afraid, we won't leave work early. Boys, please come over here, because the physical fitness of men and women is different. Another team is specially prepared. I'll go first. Goodbye. Yuanjie smiled and patted Li Tiansha's shoulder. HMPH, Li Tiansha looked at the short boy's exclusive team with envy. She wished she was also a man. But gender is innate, and there is no way to choose. The world has experienced so much pain that the ratio of men to women is currently only 1:20. That is, 19 out of every 20 adult women are leftover women. It's scary, brothers. There were only 30 people in front of Yuanjie, but Li Tiansha had more than 200 people in front of her. Everyone comes very early. After all, people can only awaken their physique once in their lives, which is equivalent to sentencing your life at the age of 18. The mood of the students was like rushing to the execution ground, both fear and expectation. Time passed by minute, and before I knew it, it was noon. At this moment, the sun is shining, which makes everyone's mood hot and uneasy. The most irritable was the principal, who stood on the high platform and watched the people coming and going below. It's really the worst class of students I have ever brought with me. The number of tests has exceeded half, and the best physique is only the B grade of the French Royal Department. He raised a sad angle of 45 degrees to look up at the sky. Alice, if there is no more high talent physique, how will the family's indicators be completed this year? The schools in this world are all run by the family, either for the name or for profit, and Wang Gaolan's family is the former, so the infrastructure of Jianghu No. 1 Middle School is much better than other schools. Group 30, Yuanjie, Zhang Sen, Li Si, Wang 5. Yuanjie took a deep breath and followed the rest of the group onto the main stage, ready to accept the judgment of fate. The original cultural performance is very poor. The bottom one, he subconsciously has no confidence in himself. In fact, awakening physique has no half-time relationship with academic performance. Come, please stand in the formation separately, close your eyes, the impact on the bloodline will be a little big, you guys bear with it first, it will be fine soon. As soon as Yuanjie stood up, the formation brightened, and he suddenly felt as if the blood in his whole body was burning. It was as if he had been thrown into a stove, and his clothes were soaked with sweat. Huh? There are actually people in this group who are A-grade physiques, which is good. No, why is the energy column still climbing? I'm blanched. Nima S. Ha, is our Jianghu No. 1 Middle School finally going to produce a genius? Yes, since Yuanjie of Jianghu 3rd Middle School was promoted to the 6th Dao Academy, how many years have passed, and the highest physique of our first middle school is only S-level. Speaking of which, the K family is also a pity. If she hadn't met Yuanjie in the Spirit Master exam back then, the 6th Dao Academy should have been able to enter. Just when everyone thought that the energy column should end when it stopped at the S stage. Unexpectedly, it is still working hard. Like a person who does not succumb to fate. Breaking through the shackles of the heavenly Dao. Yuanjie felt that the blood in his body was getting hotter and hotter, and he was suffering great pain. He swore that even if he forgot to do anesthesia in his previous life, it would not be so painful to do wrinkle circumcision directly. He couldn't help but bow down, kneel on the ground, and fist his hands to support the ground. What's going on? Why does it hurt so much? Master, are you going? No, this is a test he has to overcome. I believe in him. The inspector just glanced at Yuanjie strangely, and then continued to raise his head and stare at the energy column. He had a hunch that today, I am afraid that he will witness history. Li Tiansha looked at the boy's main stage worriedly in the distance, and it was the first time she had seen him look so painful. She resolutely broke away from the hard line, but she promised Sister Yi that she would protect him thoroughly. Just when she was halfway to the road, the scene suddenly became quiet, and only the gasps of everyone gasped for air. Oh my god, guess what I saw? I'm Zhou, there are only a handful of SSS-level physiques in the entire Daxiang. You tell me that Jianghu is another monster. God bless me, Jianghu No. 1 Middle School. God bless me. God bless my king. Li Tian was stunned in place, and muttered in his mouth, SSS-level. Then she was overjoyed. What about Brother Ji in it? Could the SSS-level be him? Chapter 2. The detection stone tower standing in the boys' area emitted a dazzling green light, which immediately attracted the attention of all the big faces. Even at home, they couldn't help but look to the southeast and gasp for air. Heaven descends auspiciously, bless me with a great face. Wait a minute, that place, it seems to be Jianghu again. Everyone in the entire playground couldn't help but look over there and take another breath of cold air. The 10 students under the stone tower all showed excited expressions, since they had a vision from heaven when they were testing, wouldn't it be said? Among the 10 of them, one must have an SSS-level physique. 1 in 10 probability, so why can't it be me? Ho ha, this SSS-level physique must be my K family boy. If today's Dao declines, there is only one way to give birth to an SSS-level physique by diluting the powerful immortal ancient bloodline. That's man-made. It just so happened that there was a drop of blood in the K family. People around them congratulated one after another. The K family was originally a wealthy family of Jianghu, and the ancestors preached with chickens. If another SSS-level physique genius emerges, he will be promoted to the great stage family one day soon. and it will be just around the corner. On the stage, there are 3 spirit guides of the K family, with a probability of 3 out of 10. If nothing else, one of the 3 must be SSS level. If there's an accident, all 3 are amazing talents. Everyone was shocked, and they had to quickly establish a good relationship with the K family. As the saying goes, one person has the way and the dog ascends to heaven, so what if 3 people get the way? Would chickens all? 10 inspectors gathered together, revealing a solemn look. Are you sure it's him? No misdiagnosis, right? Huh? What about misdiagnosis? When it comes to be baptized, they come one by one, and whoever moves is big will be known at a glance. Indeed, destiny is destined to belong to his bloodline, and we are nothing more than a messenger. Seeing the inspector coming, everyone held their breath. When the stone tower glowed green just now, Yuanjie regained his radiance, but he was still very weak, and his whole body was soaked with sweat. The discerning person saw that he was different from the others, and his heart couldn't help but chuckle. The Yuan family, there won't be another SSS-level pervert, right? Zhang Sen, Physical Imperial Department, F grade, Li Si, Spirit Royal Department, D grade, Wang 5th, French Royal Department, F rank. The awakened physique is divided into 4 types, namely, the Dharma Royal System, the Body Royal System, the Beast Royal System, and the Spirit Royal System. The Dharma Royal System, close to the natural element gold, wood, water, fire, earth, wind and thunder, belongs to a long-range magician, a master, and moves mountains and seas in just one thought. The body system can strengthen any part of the body. The higher the level, the better the strengthening effect. 20,000 years ago, the Great Xia Kingdom and clan once gave birth to a one-punch man. No matter what monster he faced, he would burst with one punch. Never drag mud and water. The Beast Royal lineage, as the name suggests, signed a partnership contract with the Spirit Beast. 80,000 years ago, the celestial empire that unified the entire Langsing. Among the 7 members of the Heavenly Mandate Society, there was an SSS-level physique that signed a Spirit Beast contract with the ancient god Beast Kunpen, and the battle merits were great. The Spirit Royal System can summon ghosts and even legendary characters. Unlike the Beast Royal System, the summoned spirit objects, even if they are injured or killed, will not have any effect on the summoner, but they are just less spiritual power. As for how strong the top combat power of the Spirit Royal Department is, in the 10,000-year history of the Great Xiong Dynasty, there has only been one SSS Level 1, that is, Yuanjie's sister, Yuanjie. Countless people are looking forward to how high Yuanjie's future achievements will be. The inspectors read the test results one by one from left to right, and the people whose names were called widened their eyes and looked incredulous. Huh? Shouldn't I be SSS class? How can it be an F class? Teacher, are you mistaken? The inspector glanced at him lightly. What kind of illusion does it mean that it must be you? The ancestor of the K family in the audience stroked his beard and laughed heartily. Now half of them have been eliminated. There are still 5 people left. The probability of 3 and 5, stable. K-Su, Physical Royal Department, F grade. The K family's face is sluggish, broken, and one descendant is cool, but it doesn't matter. Aren't there 2 more? 1 in 2 probability. Don't panic. K-Quan, no talent. The K family's face gradually became difficult to see. Today's first student with the no awakening physique was born. It turned out to be from their Jianghu wealthy K family. Old Zupi smiled and coped with the compliments of the people around him, and everyone could see that he was in a bad mood. 3/5 probability, 1 waste physique, 1 is not even as good as waste. How can they accept this? Yuanjie, the physical system. The inspector looked at him deeply, paused, and then read the results aloud. SSS level. Li Tiansha jumped up with excitement, and his powder fists were clenched. She was genuinely happy for Brother G. Boom, the audience was shocked. How is he? How is it from the Yuan family again? You know, 3 years ago, an SSS-level physique was also born, that is, Yuanjie's sister, Yuanjie. Moreover, it is also the rarest top-level spirit imperial physique. Sure enough, Sister Tiger has no dog brother. This gene of the Yuan family is really against the sky, but I heard that Yuanjie and Yuanjie are not related. Who are you listening to? Passerby's expression froze. If this is the case, it seems that the place where the 2 of the Yuan family are buried is really a treasure of feng shui, and there is more time to pay respects. The ancestor of the K family had black eyes, stood unsteadily and fell backwards, and the people around him hurriedly helped him. Old ancestor, don't panic. Akun is not without a chance to awaken the SSS level. That's right, although there has never been a group of people awakening 2 top physiques in history, today, it is the moment for our K family to create history. I suspect that the inspector mispronounced. Our descendants have been fed with spirit treasure medicine since they were young. How can they be inferior to the poor boy who has a mother and no mother? After hearing the words, the ancestor of the K family quickly calmed down. Indeed, until the last moment of reading, no one knows the truth. Besides, who dares to pat his chest to affirm that the K family boy cannot awaken the SSS level physique? K-kun, beast royal lineage, grade A. Everyone in the K family was dumbfounded, as if they had lost their souls. And others are secretly laughing, still talking loudly in the last second, dreaming of Guangzhou Yaozu, but I didn't expect that the reality is so cruel. How arrogant and self-righteous he was just now, how embarrassed and self-contained he is now. Everyone in the K family felt like a clown. They can't figure it out. Why? Why gave us hope and brutally destroyed him? K old ghost, congratulations, congratulations, this is an A-grade beast royal lineage. Even if you look at the entire Azure Star, it is a rare existence. The ancestor of the K family had hot cheeks, and his psychological gap was very large. Do I want an A-grade? No. My family tuner is obviously SSS level, and it must be that damn remnant of the Yuan family who took away his luck. He knew that even if he was an artificial genius, the probability of success was extremely low, but what was Yuanjie? The ancestor of the K family thought about it, it was not right. That generation, obviously has already driven the Yuan family to extinction? It is impossible to leave Tinder. I have an objection. Lord Inspector, did you mispronounce it? The principal on the stage looked at the K family expressionlessly, and said lightly, life and death are rich in the sky. If you feel that the test results are wrong, when the holy light baptism is baptized, you will naturally see the difference. Baptism means that students choose which aspect to strengthen according to the awakened physique level, just like filing in the college entrance examination, to determine your future cultivation direction. Knowing that Jianghua No. 1 Middle School had produced another genius with an SSS level physique, the powerhouses near the Great Xiong dynasty came to watch. They all wanted to see which path this genius would choose to take in the future. Chapter 3. When the inspector announced the results, Yuanjie was stunned in place. This plot is not right. Why do I have an SSS level physique? Too simple, right? These words are heard in the ears of others. Why is Versailles so Versailles? You don't want SSS level, can you give it to me? The inspector gives them 10 minutes to consider and select the area to strengthen. 10 minutes later, the inspector came to the first student, Zhang San, on time and asked about his choice. I choose to fortify there. Zhang San blushed and pointed down. Then a holy light hit his body, and it swelled visibly with the naked eye. Yuanjie, who was standing opposite Zhang San, was shocked to see it. Ajo, is the F rank so powerful? Isn't my SSS class? Poke the day all out? Sure enough, most of the people who only have an F-grade physique will choose to strengthen there, and they will be winners in life. Yes, if there is no war, at least there will be no worries about food and clothing in this life, and countless wealthy women will definitely rush to the door to ask for their relatives. Contributing to the population of Daxia is also a small contribution. Wang Wu looked at Zhang San enviously and hatefully. He was also F rank, but why was it a French royal lineage? The best choice for the F-class method is to strengthen the fire element, which can be used as a cook, or the earth element, which can become a cuboid solid-oriented manufacturing engineer. However, if you can make money lying down, why work standing up? Keisu is also a physical F-class, and his choice is the same as Zhang San Imao. Soon, the inspector came to Yuanjie, his eyes blazing. This is the legendary SSS-level physique. No matter where you choose to strengthen it, it will have the power to destroy the world and the earth. Not only him, but even everyone in the entire venue is looking forward to Yuanjie's answer. I choose to strengthen my eyes. Everyone was in an uproar, and thunder fell down. What are you doing? With such a good talent, to choose to strengthen the eyes? Could it be that you still want to stare at the other side? Except for Yuanjie himself, everyone present thought that this was not a good choice. The inspector repeated the words meaningfully. I hope you can seriously consider that in a person's life, there is only one chance to awaken the physique, and there is only one chance to choose strengthening. Once you choose, you won't have a chance to change again for the rest of your life. In the eyes of others, there are many options for SSS level body royal systems. For example, strengthening the mind can become a top scientist. Even, like Professor Charles, he can manipulate others with his mind. Or strengthen the hand. The record of the One Punch Man is vividly remembered, and Yuanjie cannot become the second One Punch Man. No matter how bad it is, you can also choose to strengthen your feet and become the fastest man in the world. Why can't you think about it? Do I have to choose to strengthen my eyes? Master, how could he choose to strengthen his eyes? I don't understand. It's okay, the talent is his, he likes it. The haze in the K family's hearts was swept away, and they laughed wildly. In the long history of history, I have never heard of any strong person who kills by his eyes. What a stupid decision. Such a good talent was wasted alive. Have you thought it through? Yuanjie nodded seriously. The inspector's expression was stunned. He shook his head and left a sentence before leaving. Don't rush to make a decision first. I'll come back to ask you later. In just 10 minutes, Yuanjie did think about it seriously. Since you are not optimistic, what if I awaken the Sharingan or even the reincarnation eye? The inspector confirmed that K-kun finally chose to sign a spirit beast contract with a blue ball chicken, and nodded gratifyingly. It seems that this young man wants to follow the old path of his ancestors preaching with chickens, and the future can be expected. The inspector returned to Yuanjie again and asked his answer in a serious voice. Seeing Yuanjie nodding, he sighed heavily. When the next holy light descended from the top of the stone tower, Yuanjie quietly closed his eyes and was baptized. He felt some itching in his eyes and suddenly opened them. 2 red and white rays shot out from his pupils, piercing the shielding array on the surrounding stage. With such a huge momentum, the strong people in the school immediately moved to strengthen the seal. However, no amount of hard work could stop the furious output of the red and white rays. Quickly retreat. Can't stop it. Made. Now Wengaozhen shouted anxiously to everyone. The red and white rays split a teaching building in half. In order to reduce the loss in the school, Yuanjie raised his head, and even the blue sky and white clouds in the sky were torn open a crack. Good, so strong. Li Tian was stunned and looked at the audience. After a long time, Yuanjie recovered as before. He closed his eyes and shook his head, and when he opened his eyes again, his red and white pupils looked particularly strange. The audience was silent. Is this the power of SSS-level physique? Who was joking just now? What to say that strengthening eyes is waste? You call this waste? Principal Wengaozhen still had palpitations, and he almost died here just now. The vice principal couldn't speak well, and he stammered, "Dog, have you ever remembered those eyes from 1,000 years ago?" Wengaozhen was very dissatisfied with his title. "How many times have you said it? Don't call me a dog." Okay, Wengaozhen was speechless. After cultivating to a certain level, you will know some unknown secrets. Tens of thousands of years ago, once in the Emperor era, there was an immortal king who possessed the ancient heavy pupil. With heavy pupils, he is a natural king. The life experience of that immortal king is embarrassing, and even such a sentence has been handed down by the people. Heavy pupils are invincible. Why borrow other people's bones? Wengaozhen carefully observed Yuanjie's awakened SSS-level eyes, and he shook his head and said, Yuanjie should not be a heavy pupil. As for what pupil technique, I can't understand. Yuanjie made such a big movement when he was baptized, and he slapped the K family in the face. Who said it just now? The test result is wrong. Haha laughed to death. Indeed, the scene just now is worthy of a super SSS level physique. It's not like someone who signed a spirit beast contract with a chicken that has only been practicing for 2.5 years. The ancestor of the K family had a gloomy face, and he lowered his head and whispered to the current family owner. Later, go and woo him. If he is not willing to become our K family's son-in-law, then... The head of the K family immediately realized that a genius who died halfway was not a genius. Even if it is discovered that they did it, just by virtue of their identity as one of the 3 giants of Jianghu City, no one will blame them. Master, someone wants to be unfavorable to the young master, a figure hidden in the darkness hissed in a hoarse voice. K family? He. Jumping bean clown. Yuanjie stood on the stage and was ecstatic. Unexpectedly, there was not only one chakra eye awakened, but also white eyes. That is to say, in the future, he will have his left eye as the eye of reincarnation and his right eye as the eye of reincarnation. This is the perfect normal start for the protagonist of the novel. No, it seems that something is missing. At this time, a mechanical voice came from his head. Oh, Krypton Gold can become a stronger system. Host, I know you're waiting for me. Yuanjie pouted, looking displeased. Why are you only here now? I'm awakening. Then I'll go. Chapter 4. The system coughed twice, and said positively, actually, I came here on purpose. Why? You think about it, if I come early in the morning, according to the plot set by the system, you will awaken a garbage physique, ridiculous, F-class. But no one knows, in fact, you are super powerful SSS class. Then the plot behind is to be looked down upon, and then expose your strength and hit your face. Everyone gasps for air, friends take another breath of cold air, and you finally blow with your mouth crooked. It's really not fun to do that, I don't like it. It's better to do it in one step. The system is always just an auxiliary tool, not a fiction author, and cannot determine your life path. Yuanjie was talking to the system in his mind as he walked off the stage, when Li Tiansha rushed over and crashed into his arms. Great! You are SSS-level physique. Congratulations, Duck. Yuanjie was at a loss. In his previous life, he had fantasized about this picture countless times, but he did not expect it to be realized in a parallel world. He said softly, aren't you in line? Why did it suddenly run out? Huh? Li Tiansha pushed him away, shook his hand and ran back. Someone was dissatisfied. You cut the queue. Yuanjie walked to her side and said lightly, she was originally in this position, and she left temporarily in order to find me. If you don't believe it, you can ask the principal to adjust the monitoring. When the man saw that the heavenly pride was coming, he said no more. Everyone is a woman, who wants to make a good impression in front of him. What if they fancy themselves? Yuanjie sent Li Tiansha back, then walked to the side and leaned against the wall. He was querying the system panel. When he clicked on the panel, he couldn't help but scold secretly. It's really a Krypton gold system, don't fool me. Maid, it's too pitted. I opened the system and checked. This system has no tasks, and on every page crookedly there are 4 words of special price. I couldn't sleep horizontally, and I carefully looked at it in the middle of the night, only to see the words in the seams, and there were 2 words written all over the book, charge money. As soon as I opened the panel, a bunch of advertisements popped up, and the first thing that caught my eye was first charge of 6 yuan gold spirit coins, giveaway, self-selected leapfrog divine skill treasure box. What kind of skills are given away in the self-selected leapfrog divine skill treasure chest? You can't see it without buying it for the time being, but it shouldn't be much worse. I blanch. 6 gold spirit coins? Are you sure you're not kidding me? There are 3 kinds of currency in this world, gold spirit coins, silver spirit coins, and copper spirit coins. 1 gold spirit coin can be exchanged for 1,000 silver spirit coins, and 1 silver spirit coin can be exchanged for 1,000 copper spirit coins. You know, the ramen he usually eats is only 50 copper spirit coins a bowl, and the top teacher of Jiangho No. 1 middle school pays only 8 gold spirit coins per month. Is this first charge of 6 gold spirit coins serious? Don't panic, you can borrow money. Interest of only 5 out of 10,000 per day. Borrow a hair. Yuanjie gritted his teeth and said, you are a dog system, why do you want money? Not only is there a first charge, but there are also a monthly purchase limit of 50 packs, each priced at 5 gold coins. Big brother, other systems are all starting to give newbie gifts. Why don't you have them? The system held his chest and said with disdain, are you teaching me to do things? Really? Nope. Awesome. With such a system, what can Yuanjie do? Since there is no way, let's honestly find a way to make money. Although there should be savings at home, the living expenses sent by my sister every month have been lost to Li Tiansha, and he is really penniless now. The system persuaded bitterly, host, your money is not really spent, but another way to accompany you. Okay, got it. Yuanjie pouted. He took out his mobile phone, downloaded 69.com, and looked for temporary work inside. It's only 100 copper spirit coins a day to wash dishes? Forget it. Is there a way to get rich overnight? Online wait, urgent. Just as he was thinking about how to make a lot of money, a group of people came over. The head of the K family arranged for a family member to smile politely and said, Brother Yuan, may I ask if you are married now? If you can draw the other party into the K family and become a son-in-law, be a fertility tool, don't think about cultivation. Yuanjie was stunned. He is only 18 years old this year, he has a ghost marriage match, and his parents have not arranged a child bride for him since he was a child. K Jiating knew when he saw his expression, and he continued, I wonder what you think of our K family KG? KG, one of the top 10 beauties in Jianghu No. 1 Middle School, a legal lolly with a childlike appearance. It's just that Yuanjie is not interested in her. Her face is covered with a thick layer of ash, estimated to be thicker than the cement ash at home. The skin is probably pickled. He doesn't like this kind of artificial beauty with fancy makeup, but he still likes Li Tiansha who looks good without makeup. Yuanjie shook his head with a light smile and politely refused the rich chips proposed by the other party. Although he is short of money now, he can't earn money by selling himself. K's family came back, touched a nose of ash, and said with a grim expression, "Family master." He refused. The ancestor of the K family smiled and refused, which is reasonable, very normal. Since the temptation does not work, then coercion. He didn't believe it, and the K family would not be able to deal with an orphan without a father or mother. The K family is a super wealthy family in Jianghu City, and the city owners are all sons-in-law of the K family, and it is the K family who single-handedly supported the coming to power. Within 3 years, the Yuan family has appeared 2 geniuses with SSS-level physiques, and others may think, oh, the Yuan family sisters and brothers are the ancestral tomb and smoking green smoke. However, as a K family that has been passed down from ancient times, the ancient books of their clan are clearly recorded. The birth of the top physique is not for everyone to have a chance, it must have that legendary bloodline, and secondly, the restrictions of heaven and earth luck, the number of places born every once in a while is limited. The 9 major families that participated in the sharing of the stolen goods back then, after so many years, there is a high probability that only the K family still has the last drop of immortal blood. As for the Huangfu family, the Wang family, and the Ning family in Jingcheng, he didn't know. They had lost contact with each other a long time ago, and there should be none. At first, he didn't believe that Yuanjie was the remnant of that family. According to ancient records, 100,000 years ago, that family had long been wiped out by the 9 major families. If it is said that awakening one is considered accidental luck, but a family produces 2 top Xianjiao, it means that there must be a problem. Since it can't be used by my K family, I can only use some strange means. Tens of thousands of years ago, the K family was exterminated by the Urwazay allies, and only one side family escaped, and it was not easy to develop into a Jianghu giant. In order for the family to return to the top, it has become the firm belief of every K family. In short, the immortal body must be snatched over. While you are weak. While you can't resist yet. The ancestor of the K family was frantically calculating in his mind. What should be done to be unaware? He was worried that the strong people of the academy would come to protect him, and it would be difficult to do it at that time. At this time, the principal and vice principal came over and shook hands warmly. Yuanjie, have you had difficulty studying lately? Leader Z cares. Yuanjie stretched out his hand not to hit the smiling person, and then he thought of something and continued, by the way, principal, I awakened the SSS-level physique this time. Will there be a bonus? Wang Gaozhen was stunned for a moment. Bonus? Shouldn't it be awarded to schools? How many cents does it have to do with a student? Chapter 5. Alice, principal, how can I say, I am all for the glory of the school. You are the leader. It will not make the students of Guangzhou University cold, right? Wang Gaozhen smiled awkwardly and did not speak. Seeing that the other party was not soft, Yuanjie put away his expression and said indifferently, when my sister detected the SSS-level physique, the 3rd middle school secretly rewarded 50 gold spirit coins behind her back. Wang Gaozhen frowned. Is there such a thing? How did he not know? But seeing the other party's calm expression, he had doubts in his heart. Could it be true? Good you old Zhao. Do you want to roll it up like this? Zhao Dezhu, the principal of Jianghu No. 3 Middle School, was on the way, and after hearing this, her step stumbled. She remembered that she really didn't send money, but actually rewarded their school leader with 1,000 gold spirit coins. But she thought about it. Now there is still a month before the final spiritual power exam. During this period, Yuanjie can transfer at any time, as long as he comes to the 3rd middle school, even if he pays 50 gold spirit coins. This is a lifetime of glory, engraved on the Great Summer Bestowment God list. When I think of the future, there is a line written on the list of consecrated gods. Yuanjie, SSS level of the Physical Imperial Department, graduated from Jianghu No. 3 Middle School, 50 gold spirit coins. Really not much? Zhao Dezhu said with a smile, looked deeply at Yuanjie, and then said, that's right, When Yuanjie awakened the SSS-level Spirit Royal Department, this school did give 50 gold spirit coins. Since the third middle school is your sister's alma mater, I wonder if Yuanjie is willing to return to your hometown. Our Jianghu number 5 middle school is also willing to give 50 gold spirit coins. Seconded, the 6th middle school too. Wang Gaozhen was anxious when he heard it. The money could be earned, but once the talent left, the list of consecrated gods would have no chance with Yizhong. This is his performance during his tenure, and it will be of great help to his promotion to the Spiritual Education Bureau in the future. He immediately stretched out his 2 hands and raised his head. Actually, I am afraid that you will be distracted by the spiritual power exam. I have never told you that first middle school has always valued talents and given preferential treatment to talents, and when you graduate, we will reward 60 gold spirit coins. Zhao Dezhu, we have 80 gold spirit coins in the 3rd school. Let's transfer schools. 2 out of 100 gold spirit coins. Come to our 2nd middle school and let you feel the warmth of home. 5 out of 150 gold spirit coins. 5 Chinese and American women are the most, everyone knows. Everyone was stunned. They didn't expect things to develop like this. One by one, the principals were red eyes in order to compete for the title of SSS-level geniuses. They are envious and jealous. This is hundreds of gold spirit coins. How many cultivation materials can they buy? In the Great Xia dynasty, many people may not earn enough 500 gold spirit coins in their entire lives. Wang Gaozhen flicked his sleeves and said indifferently, "Don't fight. 1 shot out of 500 gold spirit coins. Zhao Dezhu, 600 in the 3rd middle school, 800 gold spirit coins in the 2nd middle school. We are very sincere. I hope that the little brother Yuanjie can take a look at our school. You're special. Are you here to make trouble?" Wang Gaozhen was so angry that he couldn't catch his breath. 1,500 gold spirit coins, 1 price, everyone gasped, feeling that it was not enough to show their shock, and took another breath. Yuanjie smiled and said, "Pay now, leadership. Who can pay me in cash to go with whom? 3 middle schools can, 2nd middle school is also okay." Wang Gaozhen immediately took out his mobile phone, 2,000 gold spirit coins, scan code or cash. Yuanjie saw that it was almost done. He quickly took out his mobile phone, opened the QR code and put it under the principal's mobile phone. Ding! 2,000 gold spirit coins have arrived. Seeing that the dust had settled, the principals of the other schools prepared to leave. 2,000 gold spirit coins is too expensive, and it is a little uneconomical. Although this kind of thing is unattainable, who can guarantee that their school will not be able to come out of an SSS level today? Yuanjie's heart blossomed, and he called Zhao Dezhu, the principal of Jianghu number 3 middle school. "Principal Zhao, my sister only gave 50 gold spirit coins back then, August." Zhao Dezhu didn't expect that this kid also blackmailed her head. It's really bad. She thought about it. People are willing to pay 2,000 gold spirit coins. They don't give a dime. It seems that they can't say it, and they can't raise their heads in front of their peers. If Yuanjie returns to his hometown and comes to trouble himself, it will be really troublesome. The most important thing is that if it is known by that group of parents, it will be difficult to recruit students in the future. Okay, then I will accept it on behalf of my sister, and he will definitely transfer it to her when I arrive in the capital. Thanks a lot. After Yuanjie received the payment, he covered the mobile phone tightly. In his eyes, this is not money, it's all the power of spending in vain. After bidding farewell to everyone, he muttered, "Jianghu City should also have a bonus, right? This can frighten the big people in Jianghu City in midair. Hurry up and slip away, come back another day." Li Tiansha has been paying attention to the situation over there. She covered her mouth and snickered. Yuanjie is really bad. Where's Yi at that time? The more Wang Gaozhen thought about it, the more wrong it was. But he couldn't think of anything wrong, so he shook his head and went back on stage. The system secretly thought, it seems quite simple for this host to make money. Do you want to give out a few gift packages? Do you recharge 6 gold spirit coins? Okay, congratulations to the host for getting the first gift package. Items: 10 bottles of cultivation level experience potion, a self-selected leapfrog divine skill, a box of ramen, a bottle of little bully shampoo, and a pack of delicious bubble gum. Yuanjie was speechless. Except for the first 2 rewards, everything else is dispensable, that is, hard sending, so that you don't look at a loss. He clicked to use the cultivation level experience potion, and the spiritual power level was raised from Heisei first order to 2.5 steps. There are currently 4 known levels of spiritual power: Heisei, Gradual, Fusion, and Night. At the same time, each level has 9 small steps. Yuanjie clicked on the self-selected Leapfrog Divine Skill treasure box, and he was immediately shocked. Good guys, it's all good stuff. It fits perfectly into the body and is born for white eyes and chakra eyes. If it is really a Leapfrog Divine technique, there are not only Susanoo 1 stage, Amaterasu, Kagutomori, Spiral Pill, Bagua 64 Palms. The most outrageous thing is that there are even skills that can only be released by the eyes of reincarnation, Shinra Shianseng and Vientian Shianayan. These are all advanced skills that are impossible for him to perform at his current stage. As soon as he thought that he could now release the God Luo Shianseng, he was able to release the 3-hook Jade Riding Wheel Eye. What do you say? Do you still need to ask? Yuanjie did not hesitate to choose the attackable and defensible divine technique of Shinluo Shianseng. Since the first charge package is so good, then the weekly limited purchase package should not be much worse, right? He didn't stop and directly purchased 50 gift packages at once in the system mall. After a flash of golden light, congratulations to the host for drawing a roommate's personal set. Congratulations to the host for drawing a pair of black silk from Wengalan. Congratulations to the host for drawing Wengalan's small leather whip. My mud horse, the principal has a lot of fun. No, why is 50 even draws such garbage stuff? Dog system, you give me out, what? Why all this garbage? The Krypton Gold Lottery is about what you want, don't scold, there's a guarantee. Yuanjie King resisted the urge to curse, opened his backpack and checked them one by one. 90% were garbage, and only a few bottles of cultivation-grade experience potions were somewhat useful. Then, he suddenly saw an orange heart book in the very corner. Suddenly gasped for air. Chapter 6. Just when Yuanjie wanted to click to see what the mental method was, he didn't expect the screen to go black. Detected that you have not submitted your real name, and the anti-addiction program has been activated. Tease me. At this time, it was Li Tiansha's turn to come on stage for testing, and Yuanjie interrupted the real name operation. He was very concerned about what physique she would awaken. I heard that the better the physique, the better the looks. She looks so beautiful, she should be SSS-level, right? Yuanjie nodded self-righteously. After all, as a school grass, he has awakened an SSS-level physique, and the school flower Li Tiansha should not be bad. Li Tian took a shallow and deep breath and silently cheered for himself. She slowly stepped into the aperture, closed her eyes and prepared for trial. Everyone who stands on it dreams that he can soar into the sky and become the chosen son. It's a pity that not everyone has such good luck as Yuanjie. Come on, Yuanjie shouted from below. Li Tiansha heard it, and she turned around and smiled at him. The stone tower standing in the middle of the 10 people, the pillar of energy is slowly rising. Li Tiansha closed his eyes and couldn't bear not to look. She was afraid that she would be disappointed, she was afraid that she was a trash physique and could not be for them. System, do you have any medicine to improve your physique? The system said disdainfully. What do you want? Most of the drugs produced by the system can only be eaten by the host, and even if there is, others will not be blessed. Moreover, if you have a trash physique, I won't find you as a host. It made perfect sense, but he was speechless. The energy column still did not reach the E level in the end, and it was unremarkable. Li Tiansha opened his eyes, and suddenly the person was stupid in place. Why? Why is this? Why on earth? Li Tiansha, Physical Royal Department, F grade. The inspector's voice was like a nightmare, constantly echoing in her ears. She forced herself to hold back her tears and not let herself cry. Mom and Dad in the sky shouldn't want to see her like this, right? However, she has a heavy responsibility on her shoulders and the expectations of everyone in the family. Even if it is a garbage physique, she doesn't want to give up, she has to work hard. She's going to get stronger. She was going to. In this way, the heavenly spirit of the parents can be comforted. She vigorously wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes with her sleeve, reluctantly making herself optimistic. Yuanjie is sad, but he can't do anything. Although he is the chosen son, he is not omnipotent. There are some things that he can't change himself. Another physical girl in the same group chose to strengthen the above, and suddenly became majestic. Just when everyone thought that Li Tiansha would follow the personal choice, unexpectedly, she actually said, "Teacher, I choose to weaken the nerves." The inspector did not understand. That is, whether it can weaken my pain nerve perception. August, The inspector was confused and seemed to be able to do it, but a very small number of people would choose to do so. She had been in the industry for many years, and it was the first time she met a student who made such a request, let alone a student with the lowest level of physique. An ordinary baptism that did not cause the slightest wave. One group is all F-grade physique, and it is the most common seen at the testing venue. After stepping down, Yuanjie immediately greeted him, and Li Tiansha raised his face stubbornly and said that he was fine. When she saw his expression of wanting to say nothing, she pursed her small mouth and said dissatisfied, "Hey, am I as fragile as you think? Isn't it an F-grade physique? I believe that I will be able to surpass a genius like you through hard work." Yuanjie grabbed her shoulder. Okay, let's go home. Go. I'll take you to eat something delicious. Just made a lot of money. Ha ha ha. The parents of the students in the venue were stunned when they saw the intimate appearance of the two. Mom, didn't you always say, don't play with people who study poorly? Do you look at them? It's a mallet. Can you compare with Yuanjie's SSS-level physique? People are so genius, who to play with is not playing? Then why can Li Ming play with a poor student? His talent is worse than mine. Can someone else have a mine at home? Yuanjie and Li Tiansha rarely came to Jianghua's most luxurious restaurant, Zishu Pavilion. Brother Ji, the food here is so expensive, I still don't want it. Yuanjie nodded her forehead with his finger. Today I will be the host. You don't want to save money with me, Li Tiansha muttered. I just don't think it's cost effective, spending this money to eat. It's enough for us to buy our own vegetables and rice to cook for more than a month. Since Yuanjie left Jianghua 3 years ago to study at the Sixteo Academy in Jingcheng, Li Tiansha has been arranged by his girlfriend to move to Yuanjie's room and live under the same roof with Yuanjie. Let the two of them help each other, take care of each other's lives, and every month Yuanjie will send living expenses back. The three of them have known each other since childhood, and they are all bitter children, so they quickly became acquainted and played together. Yuanjie only roughly knew that Li Tiansha had no father or mother, and he didn't even have a relative. No one knows her family lineage, and she never mentions it. Even if her life is tragic, she has never maintained an optimistic attitude to life. Only occasionally in the middle of the night, I silently walked to the balcony to look at the north, and I was sad alone. Okay, I'm done eating, thank you little rich brother Ji for inviting me to a full meal. Li Tian winked at him mischievously. Yuanjie smiled and said, then how are you going to thank me? Do you want me to thank you? After that, you will cook the meals at home. Clothes you wash. She raised her little pink fist without showing weakness. Yuanjie got up and touched her head, causing her to roll her eyes. Can you stop touching my head? You've never been like this before. What's wrong? How was I before? Just like that, Yuanjie snorted and took her hand. So? Not really. Li Tiansha very unnaturally threw away his hand and turned around. Before, you have been hiding behind me, let me protect you, then I'll protect you later, okay? Yuanjie put away his playful expression and looked at her seriously. After hearing this, Li Tiansha's eyes widened, her small mouth opened slightly, but she couldn't say anything, and she lowered her head in panic. The two walked side by side on the street. Li Tiansha felt strange, but a bit like a couple dating. But their relationship is obviously a good buddy. He suddenly pulled her aside, walked into the shop that looked unusual at first glance, and bought her a bracelet to give her. Give it to you, like it, how much? I don't want it if it's too expensive. It's not expensive, you take it, because Yuanjie awakened the SSS-level physique. It has long spread throughout Jianghua City, attracting attention along the way, attracting bees and attracting butterflies. He was annoyed, and at first he was a little patient, and when he got to the back, he simply didn't raise his head and pretended not to see it, and walked all the way. Suddenly, the fierce wind uprooted the 1,000-year-old tree not far away, and strangely, the old tree actually hit them directly. Yuanjie pulled Li Tiansha behind him, his right eye shining with red light, and Guyu was spinning rapidly. Shinra heavenly sign, an old tree more than 10 meters thick was shattered by the wind. White eyes. Yuanjie's left eye was surrounded by bruises, and he was looking for someone. This time it is absolutely impossible to be a random event, and there is a high probability that it is a man-made murder. Soon, he spotted suspicious figures on the rooftop of a 45-degree building behind him. Wind Elemental Law Imperial System. Yuanjie turned around and looked in that direction, using the ultra-long distance of the white eye and the illusion of the riding wheel eye to play a combination technique. Everywhere you look, it's magic. Then, he took Li Tiansha's hand and continued to walk forward, as if nothing had happened. Li Tiansha raised his head and looked at him suspiciously and asked, "What's wrong?" "It's okay, just shoot a mosquito that disturbs people." 1,000 meters away, a loud bang. Someone fell from a building. "Quick, call an ambulance." "No need to shout, 20 stories high, dead." "Who's home?" "I'm ready to go to the feast." Chapter 7. The jade tablet representing vitality on a certain ancestral hall shattered in response. "Damn it, old ancestor, don't be angry. Maybe it was that group of people secretly protecting him. After all, he was an SSS-level genius, and he should be taken seriously. Then you can only endure for a while, and wait until the spiritual power exam before you start." The old man grabbed the people around him fiercely and ravaged them to vent the unhappiness in his heart. At night, there are men and women playing in the spring water, ticking and exclaiming. Li Tiansha gasped and wiped the sweat from his forehead. In the baptism of holy light, she chose to weaken the sensory nerves, which did have some effect. Tonight, she has circled the field for 300 laps and does not feel tired except for her lack of strength. "Take a break, shallow, you are a genius who can rest. I am different." After speaking, she took a small sip of her saliva and continued to run with resolute eyes. "Do 500 push-ups for less than 500 laps. Yuanjie shook his head and said helplessly, "I really can't help you." Then he got up and followed Li Tiansha to practice with her. But he ran 100 laps and couldn't hold on. Each lap is a standard 400 meters. If he hadn't awakened the SSS-level physique, his physical fitness had been greatly enhanced, and his previous self would never have been able to do it. Yuanjie lay on the playground, watching the tall figure step by step from a distance. From that delicate body, he saw that it contained tremendous energy. What is the faith? Let her stick with it until now. It took 3 days for the spiritual awakening physique to be tested. During this period, all students are free to move around and do not go to school. Every day, Yuanjie was pulled by Li Tiansha to go to physical training and live miserably. It is clear that he is a genius. As long as he has money, he can lie down and become a strong man. But gradually, he liked this kind of life. Riding the cool breeze and the letter, in the boundless night of the autumn moon, he and her crush in his previous life sweated like rain in the playground. At 1 o'clock in the morning, the two lay side by side on the grass of the playground, looking up at the bright starry sky together. "Shallow, there's a question I've always wanted to ask you." "Huh?" Li Tiansha turned sideways and looked at him suspiciously with big good-looking eyes. "Why are you trying so hard?" Yuanjie saw her hanging her head, his heart was grabbed, and he quickly said, "If you have something unspeakable, it doesn't matter if you don't say it. Actually, it's nothing, it's just wanting to avenge my family." "Huh?" As I got older, some sealed memories slowly came to mind. Lately I've been dreaming about that scene every night, very real, but cruel. "What kind of enemy?" "You tell me, I can make them go to dust with just one look." After speaking, Yuanjie quietly held her hand. Li Tiansha opened his mouth, and wanted to say something but was interrupted by him. "Don't worry, everything is with me." After returning to the room, Yuanjie lay on the bed and opened the system panel. This log system has secretly added 3 kinds of Krypton Gold gameplay, what daily gift packs, preferential monthly cards and battle passes. There are 3 types of daily packs, the first of which is the cheapest for 1 gold spirit coin a day, 2 bottles of cultivation level experience potions, and various stockings. The second daily gift pack costs 3 gold spirit coins, which contains the battle teleportation spiritual power potion, a leapfrog divine skill fragment, and 100 combinable gift boxes. The third daily pack costs 6 gold spirit coins, and you can claim 1 attribute point every day, as well as a lucky wheel draw. Yesterday, Yuanjie drew a pair of roommates' original stockings in the lucky carousel, and Li Tiansha came over early in the morning to ask him if he saw the white open-work stockings placed at the end of the bed, causing him to sneak into her bedroom and put them back, almost being discovered by her. "Okay if you send a pair? Why just give 1 and eat oil cakes?" After receiving the daily package, Yuanjie clicked on his personal attributes. Yuanjie physique, SSS level, ability, white eyes, 3-hook jade riding wheel eyes, strength. 25, increase character strength, key. 59, increase skill damage, root bone. 21, increase character health and defense, body technique. 32, increase casting speed and attack speed, Yuanjie has obsessive-compulsive disorder. See 59 points of key attribute. Without hesitation, I added the 1 attribute point I received today. Ding! The key attribute has reached the current level ceiling. Break through the first level to unlock the next level. The key attribute has reached the initial milestone, the Super Shinra Heavenly Sign, and the skill multiplier. The character's current attack power is x 10,000%. This skill shakes too much before casting, chanting for too long. Use it with caution. Yuanjie touched his chin and smiled slightly. Although this dog system is a little bit expensive, it is not useless. Then he clicked on the Wheel of Fortune. This number of draws cannot be accumulated. If it is useless today, it is gone, and it cannot be retrieved. Stop, big brother, please, give me a skill enhancement coupon. The roulette pointer seemed to hear his call, and finally stopped it. Skill level +7 diamond enhancement ticket. The diamond booster has a 90% success rate and the enhancement is successful. It should be stable, right? Yuanjie took a deep breath and took out the desolate ancient relic scripture treasure book. Ahem, at this time, someone should ask me, Brother G, is it Sen that you are holding in your hand? Don't say it, start doing it. Oh no, start chanting. The posture should be professional, the demeanor should be reverent, and shout loudly, the treasure book of the desolate ancient scriptures is my father. At %, and, suddenly a pair of slippers slammed into his bedroom door, and an angry voice was heard. What's your donkey's name in the middle of the night? Still can sleep? It's broken. The chant is interrupted, but it's okay. Let's do it again. This time Shinra Heavenly Expedition will go to level 7. Yuanjie covered his eyes, not daring to look at the result. It's really a planned, 90% of the reinforcement probability can fail. Yuanjie was angry to death, originally thought that there would be a wave of big improvement tonight, strengthening the current level 1 Shinra Shianseng to level 7, both damage and scope would be greatly improved. The result? Yuanjie was depressed and covered with a quilt and slept. I don't get my monthly pass. But he couldn't sleep over and over, although he still had 3,500 gold spirit coins left in his hand, he still had a sense of crisis. The devil knows if this dog system will come out with a holiday package in the future. What to buy 12 sets of holiday packs to give the supreme title, Supreme Pet? No, you can't sit and eat and wait to die, you have to think of a way to make money, but how do you make money? Is it possible to buy lottery tickets? That's right, lottery. I have white eyes, I can go scratch fun. I'm such a genius, this can make me think. It was late at night, Yuanjie's eyelids couldn't hold on, and he slowly slept. After he fell asleep, a green light suddenly appeared on his head, which was very dazzling, and people could not bear to look at it directly. Yes, you can give out holiday packs. How did I not think of it before? If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 8. In the morning, international practice, Yuanjie was going to be called up by Li Tiansha. Brother G, get up quickly. I'm going to school today. No, don't want you to be a big-headed ghost. You can get up? Li Tiansha shallowly crossed his waist and said dissatisfied. Yuanjie opened his hazy eyes and muttered, can I not go to school? Yes, you're all SSS-level, it doesn't matter if you go or not. Li Tiansha closed the door in disappointment. A minute later, the neatly dressed Yuanjie appeared in the living room, drinking porridge in a straight posture. Li Tiansha was stunned. Didn't you say you wouldn't go to school? Suddenly I miss my school cafeteria aunt a little and want to see her. Li Tiansha snorted softly, and a faint smile rose at the corner of his mouth. When the two arrived at the school gate carrying school bags, a large group of people walked in front of them. Look, the genius is here. Hello Yuanjie, I am Liu Zixuan's father, and I need you to guide her homework more in the future. Zixuan, if there is anything you don't understand in cultivation in the future, you can ask Yuanjie for more advice. Don't be shy, you know. Students and parents are talking to me, and there are more and more people, and the gate is surrounded by water. Yuanjie can't cry or laugh. Is this the trouble of being someone else's child? What he didn't know was that in the entire Jianghu city, and even the Great Xia Kingdom this year, he was the only one who had awakened the SSS level physique. The rarity is evident. Some parents even transferred their children directly to Jiangho No. 1 Middle School in order to form a good relationship with him or climb a relationship. Among them, there are many children of major families in the capital. As soon as Yuanjie entered the classroom, he saw many unfamiliar faces. Ordinary classmates who have no power have long been driven away. Everyone looked up, their expressions different. This classmate, you went to the wrong class, you are no longer a student in the 3rd class, you are assigned to the 19th class. Li Tiansha was stunned, and she found that on the seat that originally belonged to her, there was a female classmate with outstanding temperament, and she looked like a rich child. Yuanjie frowned. He took Li Tiansha's hand and walked out of the classroom without returning, and walked towards the 19th class. Yuanjie-san, wait a minute. Principal Wang Gaozhen ran to the two breathlessly and blocked the way. Classmate Yuanjie, your classification has not changed, you are still in the 3rd class. Yuanjie narrowed his eyes and said, Lord Principal, don't you investigate my relationship with Li Tiansha before you divide the class. Wang Gaozhen was shocked. He really didn't think about this. He originally thought that the two were just neighbors, just a simple relationship between going to and from school together. Li Tiansha tightened his hand and persuaded softly, it's okay, I will study the same when I go to the 19th class. She compromised, but Yuanjie didn't agree. The surroundings were already full of onlookers, and he looked around and said indifferently, I see today, who dares to let her go? Wang Gaozhen tugged at the corners of his mouth, and replied helplessly, Classmate Yuanjie, please calm down, don't make it difficult for us, he is just a small principal. Where does he have the right to speak with the families from the capital? People from the family don't like having an F-grade classmate in the class, and feel that they have lowered their grade, and Wang Gaozhen can't help it. At this time, the director of the admissions office of the 6th Dao College came to the circle. Oh, what a big deal, this female classmate will stay in the 3rd class, and the place can be squeezed out. Headmaster, what is the opinion of the leaders of your 3rd middle school? Wang Gaozhen wiped the sweat on his forehead, quickly nodded and said that he had no opinion. In that case, Yuanjie took Li Tiansha's hand and returned to the 3rd class classroom. His seat was still retained, but there was a woman in white with a look comparable to Li Tiansha in the seat next to him. Hello, I am Wang Qing of the royal family of the capital, Yuanjie said expressionlessly. I'm sorry classmate, you took her place. Wang Qing was puzzled. Please leave. Most of the new students in the class were noble children from the capital, and they looked at the two people who were talking over there in disbelief. My God, he actually turned down the opportunity to share the table with the goddess of ice and fire, the famous name of the Wang family of the former 3 families in the capital. Hasn't he heard of it? Don't he know that sitting in front of him is a top genius who is no worse than him? Not only is the human voice sweet, but it is also an SS-level French royal physique, a dual-element talent that occurs once in 10,000 years. What? Is it really a dual element? Doesn't it mean that when baptizing, even if you are SSS-level physique, you can only strengthen one element? Huh? Or what do you think? Moreover, Wang Qing is still a mutated water element ice, and the other element is fire that repels it. Just when everyone thought that the goddess of ice and fire would refuse his request. Unexpectedly, Wang Qing actually packed up her things and got up and left, but there was some wood between the movements. Yuanjie's pupils returned to normal, and he motioned for Li Tiansha to sit beside him and share a table with him. Li Tiansha hesitated slightly, and she felt the unkind gazes around her. Yuanjie stood up and said to everyone with a smile, in Zyabuke, it's just an SSS-level physique, and it's reasonable to choose the same table freely, right? This person speaks so arrogantly. Which of the children of the family from the capital is not a genius? Moreover, their goddess of ice and fire was still stunned in place, not knowing where to go. The pendant on Wang Qing's chest emitted a burst of blue light, her delicate body was shocked, and her eyes returned to clarity. She frowned and looked at Yuanjie, his SSS-level enhanced eyes. Was the power an illusion? She raised an imperceptible smile. This man was a little interesting. She suddenly became interested in him. A male classmate sitting in the 4th row slapped the table up. He looked at Yuanjie angrily and said, King looks so cute, has talent and cultivation is high. It is your 3 lives to be at the same table with you. Why did you refuse her? Yuanjie smiled dumbly. Whether she looks good or not, what does it matter to me? Someone is in a hurry. Which family are you from? The male classmate proudly straightened his chest and said loudly, Zhao family in the capital. Remember my name, Zhao Bao. Well, I will definitely visit your Zhao family when I have the opportunity in the future. Zhao Paste frowned. Are you threatening me? Don't dare. Yuanjie smiled and said, your strength is not worthy of my threat. Zhao Paste was so angry that his chest floated up and down, and he dared to look down on himself? Who is he? Zhao annoyed. The S-level body royal system awakened the infinite strength of his arms, and he cultivated to the 9th order of Heisei at a young age. You say I don't deserve it, so dare you fight me? Yuanjie stretched out his hand, and everyone thought that he had refused Zhao Bao's request for a duel. I didn't expect the next sentence to directly let the other party break the defense. Before I fight, let me ask, are you Wang Qing's licking dog? Chapter 9. The people around couldn't help but smile. As we all know, Zhao Paste is indeed Wang Qing's licking dog. Maybe he's not the best licking dog, but he's definitely the most licking dog. Zhao Bao's face was red, and he hated it the most when others scolded him for licking the dog. In his opinion, this is not licking, but an attachment to love, a preference for the goddess. Wang Qing stared at Yuanjie with interest. Very good, you successfully attracted my attention. She has been the proud daughter of heaven since she was a child, and she was rejected for the first time in her life. As for Li Tiansha beside him, although his appearance was comparable to her, she didn't care. But all men with a little brain know how to choose, and the F class and the SS class are not comparable at all. And, most importantly, the airfield of that woman. On the contrary, she has always been confident in her figure. Zhao Wang didn't know that his goddess passed by him. He glared at Yuanjie with a gloomy face, and paused when he walked to the door of the classroom. If you have one, follow me. Yuanjie's system is not the kind of system that gives you a few options and then forces you to make unexpected moves by rewarding differences. The system never interferes with his decisions, and you charge money to be my brother. Li Tiansha took Yuanjie's hand and persuaded him not to go. Yuanjie touched her head to reassure her. Wang Gaozhen witnessed this conflict outside the classroom. He was speechless. How could he fight well? Although Yuanjie has been mixed in school before, he is not a mess. Dao Man, director of the admissions office of 6 Dao colleges, called, go down and take a look. The two came to the big playground, which has always been a place for students to settle disputes. There are formations in the playground, which can not only isolate the powerful destructive force, but also restore the field to its original state. When Yuanjie and Zhaozu stood in the middle of the playground, the teaching building revealed a large curious head. Huh? Who is the genius of SSS-level physique going to fight with? Why did they fight? Who do you say will win? Someone directly threw out the sole 3 questions. How to fight they don't pay attention, just watch if there's a fight. As for who can win, it's hard to say. Although it is true that Yuanjie has awakened the SSS-level physique, the other party is not weak, and his cultivation is a long way ahead of him. One is a new beginner, and the other is an accomplished veteran player. It's really hard to say, it's really hard to say, it's really hard to say. Moreover, everyone has not seen the ability of Yuanjie's eyes after strengthening. What the? You say the movement made during the baptism? Please, that's just a vision, everyone who understands it. Yuanjie stood with his hands in his hands. He saw that the shielding array had been opened, and asked lightly, you first or me first? Zhaozu really can't see the attitude of no one in the other party's eyes. How could he have suffered such white eyes? Boy, you have to remember. War never says anything first come first come first come. Zhao Paste moved, his arms were bruised, several times thicker, and looked a little scary. Eat me with a punch. He ran quickly to the other party and was greeted with an unreasonable punch. The powerful power contained in his body burst out instantly, and even the air was driven. Yuanjie opened the white eye and the writing wheel eye at the same time, and the white eye observed the flow of the other party's spiritual power and judged the weakness. The Sharingan slowed down his speed several times, and the fist that originally seemed to be fast was like a turtle speed in his eyes. Li Tiansha watched the battle not far away, and when she saw that Zhao Yuan's fist was about to approach Yuanjie, her heart was clenched. Brother Ji, you must be fine, otherwise I will feel guilty for the rest of my life. She knew that Yuanjie was causing these incidents for her. Seeing the other party standing in place dumbfounded, he should be scared and stupid, right? Zhao Feng sneered. Sure enough, people in poor and remote areas just can't do it. Even if they awaken the SSS-level physique, they are still not as good as the son of the capital. Wang Qing saw that Yuanjie didn't mean to fight back at all. She couldn't help but frown. Could it be that she was looking at the wrong person? Just when Zhao Paste Casserole's big fist was still 0.1 meters away from Yuanjie's body, Yuanjie moved. He turned slightly sideways and dodged the punch impartially. The strong wind from his fist ruffled his hairstyle. Seeing that the punch was missed, Zhao Paste quickly braked the car, turned around with an elbow, and was dodged by Yuanjie again. His dozen consecutive moves were dodged by Yuanjie Kan, and it looked like he was going to be hit, but he was always a little bit closer. Everyone exclaimed, "This Yuanjie's luck is too good, right?" Every move just passed by. "Sister King, what do you think?" A woman with outstanding appearance came to Wang Qing's side, and she replied without salt, "Look with your eyes, I mean, who do you think will win?" She smiled. Actually, the end is doomed from the beginning. Zhao Paste felt that the other party was teasing him, and he said angrily, "Will you only hide?" "Oh!" Yuanjie flashed behind him and kicked him in the ass. Just now, Yuanjie saw clearly that his weakness was between the two strands. Zhao Paste couldn't dodge and fell into a dog-eating pose. After standing up, he twisted his wrist and said fiercely, "Originally, I didn't want to brush your face for the sake of my elders, and I kept suppressing the realm to fight you, and now, you forced me." Zhao Bao's momentum suddenly increased several times, and when he waved his arms, he actually brought out a burst of sonic booms. "Now, I'm going to give it my all. This punch, see how you can take it?" Yuanjie rolled his eyes. In his perspective, the other party's spiritual power flowed strangely and was completely abnormal. He chuckled, "Let's pretend it with me. Did you just use any secret method?" Zhao Zhu felt a chill in his heart. How did he know? HMPH, even if I use the secret method, my own realm is still the ninth order of peace. In fact, his current strength has broken through the Heisei realm in a short period of time and reached the gradual convergence realm. Zhao Paste held his fist in one hand and rushed towards Yuanjie with all his strength. Huh? What a speed! Is this the asymptote? Yuanjie's heart sank. He couldn't dodge, and it seemed that he could only use that move. As soon as it was too late, his body rotated rapidly, forming a spiritual power storm visible to the naked eye around him. Go back to heaven. Zhao Gao's clothes were torn by Wei Tian, and his long sleeves turned into short sleeves. But he could not break through that spiritual power storm. The SSS-level physique itself has much more spiritual power storage than other realms, and he is not afraid of fighting spiritual power. The most important thing is that he also has the instantaneous potion given by the system's daily gift pack, which is not enough to get a bottle immediately. Finally, Zhao Paste couldn't hold on, and he was flown out by the Hushin bullet and smashed a hole in the ground. Am I right? Didn't Yuanjie Sam strengthen his eyes? How can you still use physical skills? Is there a possibility this physical skill comes with the eyes? I don't believe it. If it's true, it's awesome. Zhao Paste shook his head to sober himself up. This time the fall was not light, he just strengthened his arms, and the rest of his body was still very fragile. He steadied himself and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. You forced me. Zhao Zhu clamped his hands together, closed his eyes and chanted. Yuanjie curiously observed the flow of spiritual power in his body with white eyes, and at the same time made the same posture with the other party, imitating his spiritual power control. At the same time, he activated the Sharingan to slow down the opponent's imprint movement. Zhao Yuan opened his eyes and shouted, "Let you see the heritage of the ancient family." Tiger roaring fist. He spread his hands apart, clenched his fists, and swung forward into the void. The spiritual power turned into two fierce tigers visible to the naked eye, roaring towards Yuanjie. The onlookers were shocked. This trick is so strong. Even outside the shielding array, they still felt the terrifying energy contained in it. If Yuanjie was hit by this punch, he would either die or be injured. Li Tiansha nervously grabbed his robe with one hand, and held it tightly with the other. Wang Qing, who was lying on the railing in the corridor at the door of the third shift on the 6th floor, stood up straight in an instant. Not right. The elements in the space flow incorrectly, and the fire element seems to be restless. As a high-achieving student of the SS-level physique of the French royal lineage, she immediately felt something strange. She looked at the playground with wide eyes and opened her small mouth in disbelief. Yuanjie finished the seal, and he chuckled, "Tiger roar fist, right? Sorry, so will I?" He stretched out his right hand and punched it forward hard. How so? Zhao Paste couldn't believe his eyes. The other party actually made the exact same move as him. The difference is that he is two tigers, while Yuanjie is a tiger. The energy of one red and two white collided together, forming a huge destructive force. The onlookers standing closer were shaken by the aftermath, while the students standing on the teaching building were blown so that they could not open their eyes. Is this genius? Is this a battle between top physiques? Terrifying. It's really a knife cutting the ass. The heads of many academies from the capital were full of surprise. If they thought that Yuanjie's SSS-level physique chose to strengthen his eyes was a violent act. After watching this fight, they just wanted to apologize. Yes, brother extraordinary, a pair of eyes with physical skills. You can also replicate the opponent's moves. Is it waste? Dao Man sighed and said faintly, it seems that this Yuanjie must be the nemesis of all the powerhouses of the law imperial system in the future. When the smoke cleared on the playground, Yuanjie stood while Zhao Ji struggled to get up. Wang Qing had long guessed that this was the ending. How could two attributeless white tigers fight a fierce tiger with a fire element? But the question is, doesn't it mean that people who have awakened their physique cannot bring their own elemental attacks? Li Tiansha was shocked by the aftermath of the explosion just now. Dozens of meters away, she didn't have time to check her injuries, and seeing Yuanjie safe and sound, she almost couldn't help but cheer for him. Yuanjie looked back at her and gave her a reassuring smile. He stood quietly in place and waited for Zhao Pace to get up, and then shook his head and said, forget it, don't play with you, I'm going to amplify the move, Super Shinra Heavenly Sign. Chapter 10. Shinra Shinzheng, a vigorous energy visible to the naked eye spread out with Yuanjie as the center. It was as if natural gravity would repel and destroy everything that hindered its progress, even the air and the elements. None of them are spared. The powerful energy wave shattered the playground beyond recognition, setting off a wave of battle aftermath that was even stronger than the collision between the two tigers just now. Quick! Hurry up and line up. Dao Man of the 6th Dao Academy was shocked, and quickly called out to the strong people of the various academies who were still watching the play on the side. The playground can't be wanted, let's keep the nearest teaching building. The closest to the playground was the senior building, and all the students standing in the corridor were shaken on their backs by the aftermath and slammed into the wall. Wang Qing rubbed the back of her head. Fortunately she temporarily erected an ice wall behind her to cushion it, otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable. Feeling palpitated, she stood up again and found that the corridor railing had been completely destroyed and empty. She leaned out carefully, and a thick smoke rose underneath, which she couldn't see. Good, what a terrible move, Wang Qing wiped the cold sweat on her forehead and exclaimed. Even if she was known as the top 10 geniuses in the capital, her great move of the ice and fire dual heavens did not have such a powerful destructive power. It seems that Zhao Pace is less fierce. Even the teaching building 500 meters away was severely damaged. How could Zhao Zhou, who was at the epicenter, be spared? The head of the admissions office of Kankyuan College wailed. She was inextricably linked to the Zhao family in the capital. Seeing Zhao Jia Xianjia buried in front of her eyes, she sat down on the ground weakly. This is no wonder anyone can only say, Zhao Pace does not measure himself. You say that it is not good for him to provoke anyone, and he has to provoke an SSS-level chosen son. The storm dissipated, gradually revealing the devastated playground. The shielding formation had all been destroyed, and the big pit in the middle made everyone gasp for air. In the big pit, Yuanjie still maintained the posture of extending his right hand, and then his right eye returned to normal, walked to the vicinity of Li Tiansha, gently took her hand, and walked towards the teaching building. Zhao Bao, who was still kneeling in the pit, trembled all over, so frightened that water stains spilled out between his legs. Yes, he is physically fine, but whether he is mentally okay or not, I don't know. Yuanjie spared his life, not because he was afraid of the Zhao family in the capital, but because of this young man. Sin does not lead to death. Zhao Pace is just for the girl he likes, and Yuanjie is too. He can understand the other party's motives very well. Li Tian was led away by Yuanjie in a daze, and the shock that the scene just now gave her was too great. Is this the terrifying strength of SSS-level physique? For a moment, she lowered her head in shame. It is such a genius, what will she defeat? Why am I just an F-rated waste? No. She wants to be stronger. She must become stronger. Even if fate has arranged for her to only be F-grade, she can't bow it. From today, I will increase my training. Even if you can't catch up with Brother G, you can't lag too far behind. The heads of the major academies were shocked to find that Zhao Bao, who was in the middle of the storm, was actually fine. What a terrifying spiritual power control. It turned out that Yuanjie did not have the intention to kill, He was using his strong strength to tell those Ioxio around him with bad intentions, Yuanjie, he has never been easy to mess with. Moreover, he used the Super Shinra Heavenly campaign very restrainedly, and if he tried his best, half of Jianghu City would be razed to the ground. Quickly arrange for the Wood Elemental or Oil Department to come forward to heal the injury. Yuanjie took Li Tiansha's little hand on the way back, and everyone automatically gave way to a road. The world's fear of the strong is an eternal truth. Li Tiansha walked to the teaching building, broke free of his hand, and ran up by himself. Wang Qing looked at the figure with a complicated face and sat down, thinking, can their Wang family really afford to raise this real dragon? Is it matched? She has been the proud son of heaven since she was a child, awakening the SS-level physique of the ice and fire dual element at the age of 6, cultivating to the 9th order of Heisei at the age of 15, and breaking through the gradual convergence at the age of 18. However, at this time, her Dao heart was a little broken. Yuanjie, however, with the strength of the 3rd order of Heisei, hit the damage that she could not even hit in the 2nd order, and she began to doubt life. You know, the gradual convergence of the strong is not comparable to the peace, and the breakthrough of the gradual convergence, whether it is the storage of spiritual power or the control of spiritual power, is not the same as before. Class, hello teacher, in this lesson, we are talking about how to control spiritual power. Please open the 19 pages of the textbook. Yuanjie shrugged his head, he was about to go to class again, so boring. Since he was a child, he has the superpower of falling asleep when he sticks to a book. In the past, the teacher may have reprimanded him when he saw it, but now, the teacher turned a blind eye, and even wanted Yuanjie to lecture instead of himself. Hey, get up, I'm not called hey, my name is Chiyuan. Li Tiansha raised his little pink fist, and when he went up, he punched. You can't get up, the principal is looking for you. Aisho, how dare this woman do something to her heart and liver baby? Wang Gaozan coughed twice and said embarrassedly, it's okay. Classmate Yuanjie just got tired from fighting, take a break first, we can wait. Yuanjie was awakened by a soft punch. In his opinion, this is not a boxing technique, but a manifestation of love. He lazily straightened up and asked, Lord Principal, is there something wrong? It's the teachers of the major colleges in the capital who are looking for you. Okay, let them come together, I won't visit them one by one. After speaking, he watched away in many envious and jealous eyes. It seems that the leaders of the strongest 6 Dao Academy in the Great Xia dynasty have come to personally invite. What's more, the ancient Academy of Wasteland, which is known as the Dream School of the Physical Imperial Department, is also here. According to the grapevine, I heard that all the colleges and universities in the capital have come. It's just that they can only envy, because it is not themselves who awakens the SSS-level physique. After the battle just now, everyone was shocked by Yuanjie's mysterious eyes. Everyone guessed that the Shinra Shians hang that destroyed the heavens and the earth just now should be a skill that comes with the eyes. It's just a guess. However, the unknown enemy is the most terrifying. You don't know what weird skills he will come up with in the next second, it's just impossible to prevent. The principal brought Yuanjie to the conference room, and soon, the heads of admissions offices of the major colleges were present. This time, everyone sent out big people who could speak in the school, and even, the deans of some colleges personally came to Jianghu to invite, giving them full sincerity. The principal and your honored, this is the excellent students they teach, so good that even the super colleges in Beijing are rushing to grab people. Listening to the heads of various university offices introduce themselves, Yuanjie nodded politely. Yuanjie-san, you are an awakened physique, you must have heard of the name of our desolate ancient academy, right? This time, the academy sent Vice President Xingjun. Sorry, haven't heard of it. Yuanjie was stunned. He had just come to this world. Where had he heard of any academy? He only knew that his sister had attended the 6th Dao Academy, and he didn't know anything else. Maran's smile froze, and she quickly recovered, and she continued, if you join our desolate ancient academy, you will receive a talent subsidy of 200 gold spirit coins every month, as well as various cultivation resources, and the library will be used casually. Moreover, we will arrange you to live in the most abundant spiritual power in the school. Yuanjie nodded. These conditions are good, they are also SSS-level physique, and the monthly subsidy can be twice as much as my sister's 100 gold spirit coins. Dean Xing, I have a reluctant request, please say, as long as it is not too much, we can agree. I have a friend who is an F-class physique, Can I take her with me, huh? This. Chapter 11. August, Xingjun, vice president of the Wasteland Ancient Academy, hesitated. Although it is understandable that an SSS-level carrying family member, even, they sacrifice a position in exchange for a top genius, from a business point of view, it is not a loss. That's the problem. Desolate Ancient Academy, one of the 3 major colleges of the Great Xia Kingdom, may not be as comprehensive as the 6-Dao Academy, but there is a specialization in the art industry, and no one is superior in the cultivation of talents in the physical system. If that person is okay with other physiques, the problem is that she is a physique. Every year, the enrollment quota of the Physical Imperial Department of Aragao Academy is very limited, and those who do not have an S-grade physique are not eligible to enter at all. If they open ahead and casually put an F-grade physique through the back door, the impact will be very bad. However, Xingjun was also entangled. The first school of the Physical Palace Department, but there is not a single SSS-level student under it. If Yuanjie goes to other colleges, then at that time, the title of the first Physical Palace will not be handed over. Dao Man, the director of the admissions office of Li Tiansha College, looked at the people of the Desolate Ancient Academy next to him with interest. In contrast, they do not have any psychological burden. The specialties of the 6-Dao Academy are the Lore Royal Department and the Beast Royal Department, and Yuanjie was successfully recruited 3 years ago, and the first Spirit Royal Department is just around the corner. If you can successfully recruit Yuanjie this time, the first of the 4 series. The first school of Daksha. Brother Yuanjie, come to our 6-Dao Academy, we can agree to your conditions. Dao Man had just arrived on the battlefield and knew that Yuanjie's potential was extremely huge, and this person had to be taken. Moreover, Yuanjie-san is also in the 6-Dao Academy. I think, you don't want your sister to be lonely, right? Not only the 6-Dao Academy, but also the leaders of the Kankyong Academy, Rinnegan Academy, Zijin Academy, and others through olive branches. Everyone wants to go further. Now that the opportunity is in front of them, how can they not clasp their hands? If Yuanjie can enter, then they will be comfortable. Xingjun gritted her teeth. She knew what the 6-Dao Academy was thinking. She was regretting why she hesitated just now. If she said yes, she would not give the 6-Dao Academy a chance to take advantage of the void. Xingjun hurriedly said, classmate Yuanjie, we can agree to your conditions. I object. A coquettish sound made everyone look back curiously. I saw Li Tiansha standing at the back door, his fists clenched, his eyes red, and he seemed to have cried just now. Yuanjie quickly got up and walked to her, grabbed her hand and said, shallow, you. Li Tiansha broke away from his hand, interrupted him, raised his chin and said stubbornly, I don't need you to pity me. It's true that I'm a waste, but I don't want you to sacrifice your future to take care of me and accommodate me. You said that I am a genius in terms of hard work, and I believe that I will not be worse than you in the future. Please don't be presumptuous and make choices for my life. It's up to you to decide your own path. And not mine. Yuanjie sighed. He really wanted to tell her that his cultivation method was different. Even if he went to the most garbage academy, as long as he had money, he could still take off. When others saw this, they knew in their hearts that they were a little couple. No wonder they would make such a request. Doesn't that mean? As long as the girl named Shallow agrees to go, where will Yuanjie follow? Everyone was extremely sorry. They were worried that Yuanjie would be dragged down by her. Similarly, they are not optimistic about this relationship. The talents of the two are one by one, and one day, there will be someone who can't stick to it. Yuanjie gently helped her wipe the tear tracks from the corners of her eyes, and said softly, then I'm waiting for you in the Desolate Ancient Academy. Just now, Yuanjie secretly spoke to him and suggested that he go to the Desolate Ancient Academy. The reason why Aragao Academy can become the first in the physical system is because they have passed down for thousands of years, and the exercises that are most suitable for the cultivation of physical students of the physical system can greatly enhance the skill power of this physique. Li Tiansha nodded heavily, and she secretly vowed in her heart that she must be admitted to the Desolate Ancient Academy through her own efforts. When Xingjun heard this, his heart blossomed. It turned out that he had already decided to come to the Desolate Ancient Academy, and the heads of the other academies could only regret the secret path. Student Yuanjie, welcome to the Desolate Ancient Academy. Xingjun stepped forward with a smile on his face and shook his hand slightly. Then she looked at Li Tiansha beside Yuanjie and took out a ring from her pocket. She came to Jianghu the day before yesterday and has been secretly observing them. She naturally knew that Li Tiansha worked very hard, and if she worked hard, she could surpass a genius. Yes, but over the years, she has only seen one. Hope is too slim. Since Li Tiansha is Yuanjie's person, maybe there is great luck with him. She doesn't mind forming a good relationship. Student Li Tiansha, this is the little care of our desolate ancient academy. I hope you can be admitted to our academy with your own efforts. The Wasteland Academy has never looked at people with talent. Maybe you don't know, our Academy Dean Li Qing, he is also an F-grade physique, but he has still become the top 10 god generals of the Great Xia Kingdom. Li Tiansha was shocked, Yuanjie was shocked, and everyone was shocked. The person in charge of Rinnegan Academy exclaimed in disbelief, "Is this true?" Dao Man said leisurely, "It's true. Moreover, Dean Li Qing also has an identity, he is our Dean Feng's mentor." After returning to the classroom, everyone else knew that Yuanjie had accepted the invitation of the Wasteland Academy and was admitted early. The goddess of ice and fire walked in front of Yuanjie with a smile and sat down generously. "Congratulations, you were admitted in advance, and you still have the Akatsuki Academy with the first physical department." Yuanjie raised his eyes and said lightly, "Weren't you also admitted in advance?" Wang Qing was dumbfounded. Indeed, geniuses like them did not have to take any spiritual power exams at all. Exams are just rules of the game for ordinary people and are the best way for them to get promoted. And for those who have a good pregnancy, it is dispensable. "It's a pity, we're not in the same academy," Wang Qing said with a slight regret. Li Tiansha silently took notes in the book, and now she only had one thought, that is, to shine in the spiritual power exam and be admitted to the desolate ancient academy. The spiritual power test mainly tests the actual combat effectiveness of the students, as well as the ability to skip the level of battle. They are admitted to major colleges in order of ranking, and the stronger the college, the right of preference. Of course, also consider the student's intentions. The higher the ranking score, it is not your turn to be picked by the academy, but your turn to choose the academy. Does Li Tiansha have a chance? Now she is only in the first order of peace, and there is little hope unless she can cross the level to defeat the gradual convergence realm. This is undoubtedly difficult for a person with only F-level physique. Li Tiansha's divine sense swept the space ring that Xingjun had given her just now, and she was immediately taken aback. It not only contains rare medicinal herbs that cleanse the bones, but also various large and small auxiliary elixirs. Her gaze became a little firmer. When he came home from school, Yuanjie glanced at the orange heart method that was lying quietly in the system's backpack. "Do you want to give it to her?" Chapter 12. System, since I have awakened the Sharingan, when the time comes to upgrade the kaleidoscope Sharingan, do I need to destroy my relatives with righteousness? This question has always made Yuanjie fidget, and he now has only one relative left, which is his sister. Let's not say that he can't fight or not. If he has to kill his relatives in order to improve his strength, then he can't accept it. System, host, you are not Uchiha? Don't worry. If the cultivation level goes up, it will naturally evolve eyes. After getting this affirmative reply, Yuanjie breathed a sigh of relief. Since that's the case, then he has to start working hard too. People with physique can cultivate faster than other physiques, and they only need to cooperate with breathing exercises to accumulate spiritual power. And the breathing method given to him by the system is ahead of all the existing exercises in this world. In the past, I didn't have the power to save you, but now, I'm different. Yuanjie looked at Li Tiansha who was walking in front and meditated in his heart. In his previous life, Li Tiansha died of a falling object from a height, and he shouted in the back at that time, and he was still one step late when he ran over. If she hadn't died then, maybe they would have been together logically. What are you doing? Go fast, and go back to training. Li Tiansha waved his small powder fist and threatened. Yuanjie smiled slightly, following her footsteps, and there was light flickering in his eyes. For the next week, he trained with her every night. The results of the training were remarkable, and Li Tiansha quickly raised her cultivation level to the third order of Heisei due to the high-intensity self-destruction, combined with the breathing method taught to her by Yuanjie. Yuanjie's gains are also great, and he is now a strong man of the fifth order of Heisei. Moreover, when he drew the weekly limited purchase gift package last night, I don't know if it was discovered by the system's conscience or guaranteed, he actually drew a self-selected leapfrog divine skill treasure chest. Still those few skills, Yuanjie chose Vientian Xianai without hesitation. In his opinion, The Shinra Xianzhang without the Vientian heavenly guidance is soulless. Hey, Li Tiansha was pulled by a mysterious force 100 meters away, and suddenly crashed into Yuanjie's arms. She was shocked, and when she looked up, she saw Yuanjie with a bad smile. She hammered his chest with a small pink fist and said coquettishly, "Just no to bully me." Yuanjie touched his head and replied, "No, I just want to try the power of the new skill, your eyes again." That's nice, Li Tiansha said enviously. If only she had such magical eyes. It's a pity that she's just an F-grade waste physique. It's okay, I'll protect you in the future, Yuanjie said seriously. I don't need your protection." Li Tiansha broke free from his embrace and continued training. The next morning, Yuanjie did not stay at the school. He came to the small square, where scratch music activities were being held. "Everyone come and take a look, 5 silver spirit coins once, you can't buy a loss, you can't buy a fool, surprise prize, 1,000 yuan gold spirit coins are waiting for you to get. There are also a large number of exquisite small gifts, buy and scratch now, and get the prize now." The small square is crowded with people, everyone wants to hide it, and everyone is dreaming of becoming rich. Yuanjie walked in the crowd, and his school uniform was particularly abrupt. "This classmate, seeing that you are handsome and dashing, Yushu Linfen, your luck must be very good, do you want to buy a few to try?" Yuanjie was stopped by a fat woman, and reached out and handed over 5 scratches to tempt him to buy them. Yuanjie smiled, was non-committal, and continued to walk forward. He suddenly jumped on the spot and stood on the stone pillar in the center of the square. White eyes, green tendons gradually appeared around the left eye, and the pupils condensed. After observing for 10 minutes, he already had the answer in his heart. "Oh, it's really all a scam. Where in the world is there a free lunch? And this lunch is not cheap at all." He manipulated one of the stall owners with his chakra eye, and learned from her that every month their team would come to pit money, which sounded good to be a welfare lottery, but in fact, the proceeds were divided by them, and not a penny was donated. This is a very high-end scam. Taking advantage of the herd mentality of ordinary people, first arrange a group of people to stir up the atmosphere and attract everyone's attention. Then, through words, gradually amplify the mentality of passers-by who want to get rich overnight, and trick them into continuing to buy. In fact, 100,000 scratch music, most of them are thank you for your patronage, only a few hundred have awards. There are not many awards, most of them are just a dozen silver spirit coins. When you win a small prize, the stall owner will persuade you to take advantage of your luck and continue to buy, and few people can resist this temptation. The end is that not only will I lose all the small prizes I just won, but I will even fall into it with the psychology of I will definitely win next time. However, the people who win the jackpot are all entrusted by them in advance. The corners of Yuanjie's mouth curved, and he left the top of the stone pillar in an instant, and no one noticed it. "Big brother, the ticket in your hand looks good, can you sell it to me?" Yuanjie said harmlessly. The man's expression froze. This lottery ticket is a jackpot, it must not be given to him. "Little student, this lottery ticket can't be given to you, because he can bring me good luck." "Big brother, you think the same as I think, I also think this lottery ticket must be a jackpot. How much money do I have to pay to buy your lottery ticket? Is 1 gold spirit coin okay?" 1 gold spirit coin? If it's a regular lottery, blood earns. The problem is that this is a cash prize of 1,000 gold spirit coins. The man lost patience and fiercely drove Yuanjie away. Yuanjie first put the stall owner next to him after the illusion, and then deliberately dropped 2 gold spirit coins on the ground, patted the man's shoulder and said, "Big brother, your money has dropped." The man subconsciously looked back. "I am blanched, I really have money. And it's still 2 gold spirit coins. It is more than Gangto's salary, since it is an ownerless thing, and the child believes that I dropped it, then I am embarrassed. Hey." After the man left, Yuanjie took out a lottery ticket from his pocket, and if the man saw it, he would be surprised. Yuanjie looked left and right, and sure enough, there were several small gaps in the upper right corner of the lottery, which should be marked. The man is not in a hurry to scratch the prize, and when the leaks are almost cut, it is time for him to appear. However, there was a sudden exclamation in the field. "Wow, there really is a first prize." Soon, countless people followed the sound and watched the past. Yuanjie pretended to be very excited and showed people everywhere, and everyone showed envious eyes. "Boy, you're so lucky. I just shaved 100 hairs without a look. Woohoo, Why wasn't I the winner? Isn't this man supposed to be taller? How is that possible? People are wearing the school uniform of Jiangho No. 3 Middle School, and they are locals at first glance. That's right, that kind of out-of-town talent is taller. Yuanjie walked to the stage, handed over the winning ticket in his hand, and said lightly, "Accept the prize." The man's eyes froze. It seemed that it was not arranged by the trust. Yuanjie smiled and said, "What's wrong? If I win the lottery and don't claim it, you won't be a liar, right?" Chapter 13. He's a thief. He just stole my lottery ticket. The man who should have been Tor shouted anxiously under the stage. Yuanjie said indifferently, "You said I was a thief. Do you have evidence? Or maybe it's your name engraved on his ticket?" The man suddenly didn't know how to answer. If he answered yes, wouldn't he be admitting that he was Tor in disguise? The atmosphere suddenly fell into anxiety, and the crowd of onlookers below gradually discovered that something was wrong. "What's going on with you? Don't you redeem it if you win the jackpot?" "Haha, I should have found out that this classmate was not arranged by you, and I wanted to pay the bill. Hurry up and change the jackpot, don't grind it." The organizers were suddenly faced with a dilemma that they had never encountered before. What to do, or give him the money first, and then sneak him off. Jiangho City is so big, now the society is not peaceful, it is reasonable to kill a student, right? The two staff on the stage were whispering, and after determining the plan, they stood up and applauded themselves. "Let us congratulate this student on winning the first prize of this event with the warmest applause." Yuanjie walked onto the stage with a big grin, and in the eyes of the organizers, he didn't know whether he was dead or alive. "Aren't you hot with this money?" When Yuanjie took the money bag from their hands, someone leaned in to whisper in his ear. Yuanjie instantly narrowed his eyes. "Are you threatening me?" "Huh?" Yuanjie stepped down directly, not caring about the man's warning at all, and did not pay attention to it at all. "If you want to come, you will come, and the highest cultivation is just a clown of the third order. It is also the gradual third order that the D-level physique has cultivated for many years. He is an SSS-level genius, even the S-class talents of the family who have been pampered since childhood. Will he still be afraid of them?" Yuanjie walked back with a small school bag on his back and deliberately slowed down. "Viagra, he seems to be waiting for us. Young and vigorous is like this. Look at his dress. He doesn't look like a child of a big family. Don't panic." He nodded approvingly. Indeed, almost no one in the big family likes to wear school uniforms because they don't look good. The organizer of the scratch music sent 3 strong people, 2 of the 9th order of the Heisei realm, and 1 of the 3rd order of the gradual merger. If it is against ordinary students, this lineup is enough. The local students of Jiangho City advanced to the 9th level of Heisei before the spiritual power exam. Not only are they highly cultivated, but most importantly, they have incomparably rich combat experience. Yuanjie is not the first monkey to steal peaches. They have already dealt with this kind of ignorant person in advance, and there is no accident every time. On the other side, the K family Liaozu, Yuanjie is on the right side with our people. "Oh? Inform them, don't beat to death, it is of great use." Li Wei received an order from above on the road, and as soon as he heard the leader say that there were many rewards after the accomplishment, he couldn't help but blossom with joy. They followed Yuanjie to deep cul-de-sac. "Come here, then don't go." When they heard Yuanjie still talking so hard, they couldn't help laughing. "Little brat, who gave you the courage to dare to pick 3? Don't forget. You're just an undebuted psychic disciple." Yuanjie raised his eyebrows. "Couldn't they see that my cultivation was a Heisei 5th order? Host, this system has blocked your breath, and ordinary people can't see your cultivation. What about the 5th order of your Heisei realm? It's hard to fight one asymptote, let alone 3. Li Shai, who was the highest cultivator, mocked mercilessly. "It seems that this is not the first time you have done this kind of thing, right?" Li Wei stretched out 2 fingers and smiled. "People like you who don't know how to be evil, we have at least dealt with so many. 20. The pattern opens up a little more. 200. Li Wei shook his head with a smile. He didn't have time to play dumb riddles with the other party, and directly announced, 20,000. Yuanjie's eyes froze. His face became gloomy. It seems that this group of gangs is extremely evil. In order to make money, even the lives of ordinary people are regarded as grass. If this time it is not to expose them yourself, but another person with a low cultivation, then what will be the end? Don't say it, take your life." Li Wei looked at the 2 unnamed subordinates beside him and nodded to signal his hand. The 2 of them met and immediately condensed their spiritual power and made their strongest move. However, there was some suppression, and a little water was released. They were afraid that they would directly beat Yuanjie to death, then it would be difficult to explain to the leader. They are all Dharma Imperial Physique, one wind attribute and one thunder attribute. When combined with wind and thunder techniques, they will have an extraordinary effect. Flat Earth Wind Thunder, with Yuanjie as the central point in a radius of 10 meters, the sky suddenly changed color. The wind was fierce, and a thick white lightning bolt fell from the sky. There is only one goal, and that is Yuanjie. Yuanjie's clothes were blown up by the wind, and the strong wind forced him to squint. The people of the desolate ancient academy, who were hiding not far away, were standing on the roof of the building watching the play. Lu Ru asked eagerly, "Master Xing, don't we make a move?" Xing Jun shook his head and replied calmly, "No, if he can't even solve these few little minions, then he is not qualified to enter our elite class." Seeing that the white lightning was about to fall, Yuanjie raised his right hand. Shinra heavenly sign, the attacks of lightning and strong wind were isolated by a strange circular cover, which could not cause any damage to the Yuanjie in the cover. It seems that in the anime, Shinra Tensei is defensive against physical damage, and I don't remember spell damage very much. I haven't watched it for a long time since Boruto came out. Li Wei's smile froze. He didn't expect this kind of result. What kind of exercise is this? Unexpectedly invincible in the area? If you master this magical technique, wouldn't it be? Thinking about it, his gaze became hot. Unexpectedly, there would be an unexpected gain in this battle. Yuanjie's right palm closed the 5 fingers. Vientian heavenly introduction. The two thugs beside Li Wei instantly felt their bodies flying uncontrollably towards the opposite side. Viagra, save me. Cold sweat broke out on Li Wei's forehead. Broken. This time it won't kick the iron plate, right? How have I never seen all kinds of spiritual methods? Weird. Too weird. When the two were pulled only half a meter away from Yuanjie, they were nailed in place and could not move. Let go of me. The two wanted to struggle, but found that they couldn't use their strength at all. Yuanjie walked leisurely in the direction of Li Wei, passing directly between the two without looking at it. He casually lifted it, and a Shinra Shiansang exploded the bodies of the two into blood mist. Everyone in the desolate ancient academy on the roof was dumbfounded. This son is decisive in killing. It is really not simple to do this at his age. Li Wei's legs trembled a little, and he said in a trembling voice, "You, don't come over. Call Brother G. Brother G don't want it, don't come over." At this time, Li Wei did not have the slightest demeanor of a third-order master. "Let me be well." Yuanjie approached the other party step by step with a smile. "I like the unruly appearance you just now." He was really afraid. Who would have thought? A student of the 5th Order of Heisei beat the 2 people of the 1st Order of the Gradual Convergence Realm to the point of no way to fight back, and there was not even scum left. Bullied honest people. Suddenly came a cruel stubble, saying that it is false not to be afraid. Li Wei gritted his teeth and said, "I didn't want to kill you, you forced me." After that, he quickly made a knot mark and slapped it on the ground. "Come out, B-rank ghost beast." Yuanjie suddenly felt that the temperature in the surrounding environment dropped sharply, and the wind was gusting. He said to himself with interest, "Is this the legendary spirit imperial lineage?" He felt the changes in the spiritual power around his body, but now Shinra Shiansang still had 3 seconds to cool down. At this time, he suddenly felt no pressure. I saw Li Wei's eyes widened, pointing ahead, and his body trembled uncontrollably, but his throat couldn't make any sound. Wrong. Fusion Realm 9th Order Spirit Objects. Chapter 14. Yuanjie looked at Li Shie strangely and was scared to death. "I haven't made a move yet. You don't have it? Fantastic. Really amazing." Yuanjie is not happy at all. He felt very strange. First the sudden collapse of the surrounding yin qi, and then Li Shie's violent death. It seemed that someone was helping him. Yuanjie hugged his fist in the void and said thank you, and then took all the money bags of the 3 for himself. To kill and seize wealth is to have the consciousness of being killed. The 3 people's gold spirit coins added up to more than 3,000, and Yuanjie's eyes lit up. It seems that this trip is not a loss. I easily earned 4,000 gold spirit coins when I went out, which is not bad. No wonder the protagonists in the TV series like to take the initiative to provoke things, so it is. After Yuanjie left, everyone in the desolate ancient academy hidden in the shadows was sweating, as if they had seen something incredible. "Let's go. Don't tell anyone about this today, you know." Yuanjie suddenly returned to his seat in an instant, startling Li Xianxian. She frowned. "Where did you just go?" Yuanjie snorted, "I went to the toilet." "Oh." Li Tiansha didn't think much about it, and she answered obediently. Most of the classmates in the same class are gifted people, and the whispers of the two of them can't hide from others. Someone turned a deaf ear, someone gritted his teeth. Since everyone watched the battle between Yuanjie and Zhao Paste a few days ago, they all sighed at its huge momentum and amazing power. That indifferent and confident figure was deeply engraved in their hearts. Originally, they received an order from the family and were forced to come to Jianghua, a place where birds don't, to find an opportunity to get close to Yuanjie. But now it's different. They feel that only such an outstanding man as Yuanjie can be worthy of his noble status. Therefore, they disdained Li Tiansha. They felt that Yuanjie didn't have the choice before, and they didn't see the proud daughter of Xianxi to choose Li Tiansha to pan for gold in the sand. As long as they showed their charm a little, wouldn't SSS-level geniuses come easily? However, a week passed, and they tried their best to sell cute in front of Yuanjie, pretend to be cute, talk about small windmills, and even inadvertently reveal a little bit of spring. Yuanjie was like a piece of wood, indifferent. Don't even look at it a second time. Urgent, they are in a hurry. Can it not be urgent? The fate of a woman in a family is nothing more than two kinds. The first is to randomly find a combination of a man with a low-level physique or even no physique, and reproduce for the family. The second is to become a male concubine with a high-level physique, without status. It is almost impossible to marry a man you like, worse than the fate of a folk woman. Although the life of ordinary people is very tight, they can at least be with the people they like for a lifetime. Moreover, folk men do not have the ability to have 3 wives and 4 concubines, and do not have to worry about other women sharing their husbands. Therefore, whether it is public or private, it is very important for them to be able to win the hearts of Yuanjie. Don't look at Wang Qing as known as the goddess of ice and fire. If she can't break through the late stage before she is 40 years old, her fate in the end will be no different from theirs. Since there is no way on Yuanjie's side, it is better to let Li Tiansha recognize the gap between her and them, and let her take the initiative to leave. Taking advantage of Yuanjie's absence in the afternoon, 5 or 6 proud daughters of the family surrounded Li Tiansha in front of the toilet door. Li Tiansha frowned, and she asked coldly, "What do you want to do?" "What for?" At the head was Ningjiashi and Jiao Ninglu. She laughed loudly. "What do you think we want to do? Get out of the way, or I'm welcome." "You're welcome? Laugh at me. There is an F-class waste who wants to be polite with us." Ha ha ha. Li Tiansha clenched her fists. It's true that she is an F-class physique, but it can't be a reason for you to trample on her dignity wantonly. Ninglu hugged his chest and said, "Leave Yuanjie. You don't deserve it. Brother Ji is just my friend from childhood to adulthood." "Huh? Friend? Is there still a pure friendship between men and women? You trick a 3-year-old into going. If you don't believe it, forget it." Li Tiansha lowered his head to avoid them. "It seems that you can't understand people." Ninglu kicked over. Li Tiansha couldn't dodge, and slammed his head against the wall. After seeing Ninglu make a move, several other people also joined the beating when they saw this. Li Tiansha didn't say a word the whole time, just hugged his head and shrunk in the corner. They did not use supernatural powers, but simply used physical strength to teach her. Now that the leaders of the major colleges in Beijing are there, they don't want to go too far, so as not to affect the admission application. 2 minutes later, Wang Gaozhen shouted in the distance before they sneaked away. Wang Gaozhen ran over for the first time and saw that Li Tiansha's body was scarred, and the secret passage was not good. Yuanjie knows too well, just because Zhao Jiao bumped him, he beat people half to death, and he hasn't slowed down until now. "Headmaster, I'm fine." Li Tiansha patted the dust on his body and stood up in pain, his expression very calm. Wang Gaozhen chuckled in his heart, and he asked weakly, Are you really okay?" "It's okay, I'll take you to the infirmary." The principal listened to the doctor's reply. Fortunately it was only a skin trauma, did not hurt the origin, and did not leave a scar, otherwise, he and Yuanjie would not be able to explain. The problem was that he only saw one of the perpetrators, that is, the Ning family in the capital, but the Ning family was a big family, and he was even less likely to provoke it. After thinking about it again, he chose to see nothing. Nothing happened. Hello everyone. As for Li Tiansha, he would not offend the big family for her an F-class without any background and seek justice. Where is there justice in this world of the jungle? Whoever has the biggest fist is justice. After dealing with the wound, Li Tiansha asked the principal for leave. and limped out of the school gate alone. As she walked, 2 lines of tears slowly slipped down her calm face. It was pouring rain in the sky. She wiped the haze in front of her, and for a moment she couldn't tell whether it was rain or tears. She walked down the street, and the pedestrians on the side of the road looked at her in amazement. This rainy day, it seems that there is another sad person. Occasionally, there will be hooligans who do not know whether they are dead or alive, and suddenly fall to the ground and die on the road. After solving a person, a tall shadow in armor followed behind Li Tiansha. No one could see it, not even Li Tiansha himself. Master, the Ning family, the Hu family, and the Su family and their lowly girls bully Miss Shallow so much. Should I slaughter them? No need, leave it to her to solve by herself. Yuanjie returned to his seat in a class before school and found that Li Tiansha was missing. This is not normal. She is a good student who loves to learn. He picked up his mobile phone and dialed Li Tiansha's number, and several consecutive calls were unanswered. Broken, nothing will happen, right? If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 15. Yuanjie left the classroom in an instant. This time he walked a little hurriedly, and overturned the podium. He turned around and said sorry to the teacher, and ran out without looking back. The teacher of the spiritual technique class smiled bitterly and shook his head. If it weren't for Yuanjie's knockover, he would have to scold him. Since it's him, it's okay. Yuanjie first searched every corner of the campus, and even rolled his eyes outside the door of the women's toilet. Fortunately, it was now the class stage and I didn't see anything. It's not there, so where did she go? So he searched all over Jianghu City, all of which were places she liked to go. Searched for more than an hour and found nothing. When he returned to the gate of the community, he saw a delicate figure running around the field from a distance. At this time, the sky was clear, and the rain came and went quickly. Yuanjie came to Li Tiansha in an instant, and he felt that something was wrong when he saw her running posture. It turned out to be injured. Who hit you? Li Tiansha lowered his head and whispered, I fell by myself. Yuanjie wrinkled his brows. Will it all be like this? I was scared by the dog and ran a little rushed. She didn't look her way, didn't look him in the eye. Yuanjie pulled her to the grass and asked her to sit down. He took out the healing medicine he got in the system and helped her wipe her wounds little by little. Why are you so careless? If you are frightened by a dog, you will beat it back. Fight, can't beat. Tap. Li Tiansha didn't say anything when he was beaten by the group just now, but now he couldn't help but shout. Her beautiful eyes watched him gently help her with medicine, and a warm current rose in her heart. Okay, be careful in the future, stay away from the vicious dogs, you know. He clapped his palms and stood up, but held her down. Don't train today, heal your injuries. She answered obediently and sat on the grass and silently watched him train. She used to protect him, but now it's the other way around. However, it feels good to be protected. Li Tiansha raised a happy smile. Yuanjie didn't know how long he had been running, but as his cultivation level went up, his physical strength was getting better and better. White eyes and chakra eyes consume spiritual power, not other pupil power. He is an SSS-level physique, and his spiritual power storage is several times more than that of ordinary S-level physiques. Generally speaking, when the stored spiritual power overflows, it can be upgraded by 1 level, because the stronger the physique, the larger the spiritual power pool, so the SSS-level physique will be slower than the average person to upgrade. However, fortunately, Yuanjie had the experience potion sent systematically, and his cultivation speed was even faster than that of people with low-level physiques. Li Tiansha's sight is what he is most anxious about. Her physical fitness is poor, except for being able to endure hardships. Everything else is not worth mentioning. Yuanjie is not stupid. He has long guessed that someone has done something excessive to her. It's just that she has a strong sense of self-esteem and is reluctant to say it. Since you want to take revenge yourself, then I will help you. I just don't know if you can stand it. Yuanjie took out an orange heart method from the system backpack. A few days ago, he tried to open the rest door to lift a limit of physical fatigue. And the improvement effect was very significant. However, this skill is purely open, and everyone who understands it understands. While the powerful gains are obtained, the side effects can be significant. Even if he only opened 2 doors, he almost had to walk against the wall. At present, there is no enemy worthy of him to open the 8 doors of done armor art. Li Tiansha is different. She does not have a natural perverted physique, she is just an ordinary person. The art of 8 doors of Dunjia may become her only chance to turn over. Moreover, Yuanjie accidentally found that after using the 8 gates Dunjia, his root bone attributes had actually improved a little. That is, this technique was likely to transform and upgrade Li Tiansha's garbage physique. As long as she can keep it up. Shallow, I have something good for you. Li Tiansha tilted his head and looked at him suspiciously. Your birthday is coming, I don't have any good gifts to give. You can take this exercise to cultivate. If you cultivate to the extreme, the mortal body can be a war god. This is. Li Tiansha took it, and there were 6 words written on the cover. 8 gates of Dunjia art. She looked at it seriously, and her heart turned over the terrifying waves. This exercise is a bit against the sky. It can actually increase the limit speed and strength of the human body by 10 times. In addition to the increase in attack and speed of each door, different doors also have relative physical moves. However, the benefit and the effort are equal, and the further you open the 8 doors, the greater the damage to the body will be. Especially the last door, the door of death. After opening, there is no life and death. If you can avenge your family, why die? Li Tian took a deep breath and held this exercise book to her chest. She slowly stood up, bowed deeply to Yuanjie, and sincerely thanked her. This exercise book is very suitable for her, even if the practice is very difficult. After opening, it will overload the body. It must hurt, right? But the last thing Li Tiansha is afraid of is to endure hardship. How are you going to thank me? Yuanjie said with a smile. Li Tiansha blinked his eyes wide and looked at him puzzled. Thank? Did it you just thank you? Come and give it a hug. Li Tiansha lowered his head and buried it in his chest, wrapped his hands around his waist, and his delicate body trembled. Yuanjie hugged her tightly in his arms and felt her temperature. 2 lifetimes, finally hugged the skull flower for the first time, happy. Unexpectedly, the smell on her body was so good. Ah, it's the taste of youth. Hey, it's time to let go of me, hold it a little longer. An hour passed. Li Tiansha twisted his body unnaturally, and said coquettishly, it's been an hour. Oh, can't help it. Old Yuanjie's face turned red. Have you held enough? Li Tiansha raised his head in his arms and asked with a frown. Otherwise, if you kiss me again, I'll let you go. Li Tiansha twisted the soft flesh on his waist fiercely, causing him to grin in pain. Kiss you? You're overdoing it, Yuanjie. Li Tian blushed and pushed him away and ran back to the apartment by himself. After returning home, she found that the wounds on her body had actually healed, and his medicine was too amazing, right? She turned on the shower head and let the hot water pass through her head. So much happened today that she couldn't digest it for a while. She remembered a man's words, is there still a pure friendship between men and women? Before her physique awakened, she found that Brother G's eyes suddenly changed when he looked at her. She was asking herself, aren't we good buddies? She used to answer without thinking, of course it is. We grew up together, the best buddy, but now, the self in the mirror seems to be broken. She wrapped her hair in a towel and wrapped a bathrobe about, and she lay on the bed and picked up the 8 doors of Dunjia technique and flipped through it. There are many notes made by Yuanjie on it, and it can be seen that he has studied very carefully. Yuanjie's annotation not only drew the key points, but also wrote down his own experience, which made Li Tiansha take a lot of detours. Lights out, she closed her eyes and rested. But she found that as soon as she closed her eyes, the person's voice and smile jumped out. It turned out that he was not the only one who changed. Chapter 16. Master, our people have been killed. K. Wujin, the head of the K family, had just taken the tea and was about to take a sip. He frowned, and his heart was full of surprise. Just because by Yuanjie, don't talk about martial virtue, he can't accept it. Yuanjie has already ruined the K family twice. It seems that in order to dream more at night, it is necessary to implement a plan as soon as possible. K. Wujin touched his chin. He beckoned his subordinates to go out, and then the ancestor of the K family came out from behind the screen. It's Yuanjie. Right, that's right, Lao Zu, what are you going to do? The ancestor of the K family asked him without salt. Although K. Wujin is the head of the family, Lao Zu is the real K family at the helm, and he just came out to back the pot. K. Wujin said the plan in his heart, and Lao Zu asked him. Out of 3 people, only 1 corpse returned? Yuanjie really has the ability to beat two Heisei ninth order, but have you thought about it? Wuji, a student who had just turned 20, used such cruelty to destroy the bodies of the other two? Wujin was silent, but he didn't think of this. If you say, a student can kill without blinking, is it possible? At this age, let alone killing, the hands that kill chickens and knives are shaking. Then there must be a superior protection behind him. Thinking of this, Wujin bowed respectfully to the old ancestor. Zuliozu mentioned the point. I was sloppy. The ancestor of the K family touched his white beard, narrowed his eyes and said, it was not only our family that participated in that matter back then. Let's not make a head bird, let them go, and by the way, explore the strength of the masters behind Yuanjie. However, the first test of the spiritual power exam in 3 days is an excellent opportunity. Yuanjie did not know because he was decisive in killing and successfully avoided a potential crisis. On the surface, he is a young man who has just turned 20 years old, but in fact, he has lived half 100 in his 2 lifetimes. The world is not peaceful, and the sword is the truth. If he is just a nobody, the big family kills him and kills, and there is no legal responsibility at all. It's a pity that he is not an ordinary person who takes control. Those who kill will always kill. Having read countless novels, he naturally understands this truth. The next day, the school teacher announced that he would enter the secret realm 3 days later to begin the preliminary examination of the spiritual power exam. There are 2 spiritual power exams, the first of which tests students' ability to kill and protect themselves against monsters outside the domain. You can form a team and enter the secret realm alone. Killing a level 1 extraterritorial monster earns 1 point. Tier 2 extraterritorial monster gets 2 points, and so on. Kill scores are monitored in real time. It's worth noting that in the first secret realm, if you kill someone, you won't get the other person's kill score. In this way, infighting can probably be avoided. After the initial test date was announced, Yuanjie became a fragrant glutton. Most of the students in the 3rd class came to express great goodwill and hoped to team up with him. In particular, the female classmates of the Ning family and the Hu family who had participated in beating Li Tiansha were particularly active. I can't wait to drag the light and beg him to take it with me. Yuanjie glanced at everyone lightly. You are all children of the family, I can't afford to climb high, don't come to me, Ninglu said with a smile. Where, Brother Ji, you are an SSS-level physique, and your strength is already comparable to that of the children of the family. Yuanjie raised his eyebrows. Is it just comparable? Ugh, Ninglu was suddenly speechless. She didn't know how to answer. If you tell the truth, the children of that family are all arrogant and will offend many people. If it can't be compared, then her relationship with Yuanjie will come to an end. Huh? Yuanjie's gaze kept looking at her, allowing her to say the answer. Ninglu shrunk her neck and did not dare to say more. Yuanjie snapped on the table, stood up and looked around and said slowly, since Miss Ning thinks that I can't compare with you, then I won't drag everyone back. Let's go, let's sign up. Countless reproachful gazes fell on Ninglu. Wait a minute, Yuan Gongzi, Wang Qing rushed out and said, Yuan Gongzi, can you take me with you? The maximum number of people in a team is 3 and the minimum is 2. Everyone was shocked. In addition to Yuanjie, the strongest on the bright side was the goddess of ice and fire, Wang Qing, and even thought that if the 2 people fought, Yuanjie would definitely not be able to beat her, and the gap in cultivation levels was too big. If the 2 of them team up again, when all the extraterritorial monsters in the secret realm are harvested by them, how else to play? Yuanjie glanced at the faces of the people around him, and his heart was clear. He nodded crisply and neatly and said, welcome to join, nothing bad, just want to disgust you. Yuanjie couldn't see this group of young people from Jingcheng, one by one. Urgent, someone is in a hurry. In the crowd, a muscular male classmate pushed everyone away, and said to Li Tiansha with a high spirit, sister, your physique is too spicy chicken, this team is the strongest, we are going to break the point record, you take the initiative to quit. This brother is called Li Weiming, and he is a member of the Li family in the top 10 in Jingcheng. He just transferred today, and he didn't know the relationship between Li Tiansha and Yuanjie, but he just felt that such a strong combination with an F-grade physique mascot with almost no combat effectiveness was too bad, right? Why don't you let me join? Together. Li Tian lowered his head gloomily. Yuanjie sneered, what are you? Did I promise to let you into the group? The muscles in Li Weiming's chest trembled, showing his strength. He raised his head and said proudly, I'm not a thing, I'm Li Weiming, the son of the Li family in Jingchen, my SS-level physique, the strength of the gradual first order, as long as I join, the point record of the first test of the spiritual power of the great Xianguo will definitely be broken. The Li family, the onlookers outside the classroom were immediately shocked. The Li family is one of the 10 newly promoted families in Jingchen, although it is not as good as the 3 major families, but the strength cannot be underestimated. Most importantly, Li Weiming just called himself the son of the world. What is the identity of the son of the world? The son of the family means the heir of the head of the family. Who can become the son of the world, which is not a first-class genius? Placed high hopes by the family. Almost everyone believes that Li Weiming has arrogant capital, and compared to Li Tiansha, she is just an F-grade physique ordinary person without a father or mother. Yuanjie smiled and said, although you are very strong, but sorry, it is full. Li Weiming did not expect that his initiative to show favor was actually exchanged for a rejection. With simple thoughts, he immediately burst out of the spiritual power of the gradual first order, wanting Yuanjie to take a good look at his strength. He scoffed, you and Wang Qing are so strong, why are you carrying a towing oil bottle? Yuanjie narrowed his eyes, who do you say is the towing oil bottle? Brother, you have an SSS-level physique, what woman can find it? Why do I have to take care of an F-grade? Li Tiansha clenched his fists, his shoulders trembling slightly. Li Weiming finally said what they had in their hearts and called out Da Shuang. Yes, your Yuanjie has good looks and talent, as long as he opens his mouth. There are countless beautiful women who come to the door with a huge bride price. Why do you have to think about finding an orphan with an F-class physique? Wang Qing was silent, and she looked at Yuanjie nervously. Yuanjie took Li Tiansha's wrist with his right hand, and then said with a smile, are you finished? When you're done, you can go. Wang Qing, who had been silently observing, saw that his left and right eyes were red and white eyes and instantly opened. Everyone who faced him was stunned for a moment. Then, a loud bang pulls them back to reality. Chapter 17. I'm Zhou, why did Li Weiming jump off the building? What's going on? Can anyone tell me what just happened? How do I feel as if a memory has been erased? The students standing behind Yuanjie were not controlled. They recalled the scene just now, and their backs were cold. I don't know what Yuanjie did, they only saw a group of people stunned in place, and then Li Weiming walked to the corridor by himself in a daze, and jumped out of the railing without hesitation. This is the 6th floor, not the 2nd and 3rd floors. Although Li Weiming's physical fitness is extremely strong, jumping off the building cannot die, but he will also hurt. It's not good if you haven't laid down for 2 or 3 days. It should be Yuanjie's eyes doing something strange, it's really weird. Wang Qing was not controlled because she was on guard in advance, and she was the only one who was the most sober in the audience. Yuanjie took the two of them leisurely to the office to register. On the way back, Yuanjie glanced at the pendant she was holding on to the bare button, which was very white, big and deep. He said playfully, your pendant, very interesting. Wang Qing's heart trembled, did he know it? She wrinkled her brows and said, your eye ability should be an illusion, right? Yuanjie shook his head, you guessed right, but it's not alright, and, Wang Qing was stunned, the illusion alone was strong enough. I'll let you see it later, of course, I don't want to have this opportunity. Yuanjie sat back in his seat, and the others no longer dared to provoke or seduce him. If he comes to a magic trick to control you and make you run on the spot, then they will have no face to live in this world. This kind of illusion is not without restraint, unless they have spiritual magic weapons. Most of the spiritual magic weapons are now used to bless the power of the spiritual physique spirit. In the entire Great Xia Kingdom, there has never been a single spirit person who can possess illusions. Illusion exists only in ancient texts. According to legend, there was once a physique called the Soul Imperial System, and this group of people specialized in illusion. But I don't know why, suddenly all of them went extinct. Now Yuanjie has reappeared the illusion in the world with strange eyes, which is worthy of the attention of major families. His importance unconsciously increased a little. Yuanjie didn't know these secrets, he was excited now. Just now, he tried to open the white eye and the chakra eye at the same time, and was surprised to find that he could actually increase the success rate of illusion control by several times. Just if you operate like this, the spiritual power will be consumed relatively quickly. After school, Li Tiansha threw himself into hard training. She didn't want to drag people back, especially Brother G's. If you don't have enough talent, try to make it. Tonight, I have to run 1,000 laps. Li Tiansha gritted his teeth and swore fiercely. Yuanjie laid down and slept on the side. It looked like he was sleeping, but he was actually drinking a cultivation-level experience potion. Phew, after a week of collecting experience potions, I finally raised the spiritual power level to the 6th level of Heisei, and the 3rd order. As long as he reaches the asymptotic realm, his chakra I can evolve into Kaleidoscope Chakra I, which can open up various abilities against the sky. For example, Amaterasu, which is said to burn everything out. There are also Time and Space Ninjutsu Divine Power, Super Illusion Moon Reading, the Strongest Illusion Art Other Tenjin, etc. It can be said that his pair of Sharingans contains all the abilities of Sharingan, or in other words, unknown abilities. Most importantly, after reaching the Kaleidoscope, he can open the Susa Gundam. At present, the Battle Pass has reached level 5, and 5 lucky wheel opportunities are presented, plus the daily gift package received today, for a total of 6 lucky draw opportunities. The reward props of the lottery change every day, and most of them are black silk, which is outrageous. Yuanjie was bored with a small grass in his mouth, closing his eyes and drawing prizes. The first 5 times, it was really the black silk of the skull flower. Mater, you have to send it back again. He didn't dare to hide secretly, otherwise, she might think he was a pervert. The 6th time, the last time, he called out to Li Tiansha, "Shallow, come here." Huh? Li Tiansha ran over suspiciously and asked him why. "I ask you, you say, when can we start a relationship?" Li Tiansha frowned. "I treat you as a brother, but you want to shun me, how? Is it impossible? You want to be beautiful." Li Tiansha kicked him in shame. Yuanjie adjusted the angle so that her kick just kicked on the lottery start button. System, after a round of circles, he actually stopped at a place he didn't expect. "Congratulations to the host for obtaining the +7 skill enhancement coupon, I blanch." Yuanjie jumped up, and he instantly went over and hugged Li Tiansha a little, and then ran away. "Shallow, you are really my lucky star." Li Tiansha looked at his back as he fled in a hurry with a confused expression, and his cheeks instantly turned crimson. What a bad guy. Take advantage of others and run. Yuanjie returned to the grass and continued to lie down. He was thinking, what skills should be strengthened? After thinking about it carefully, he still decided to use the enhancement coupon on Shinra Shiansen. System, this enhancement coupon does not have any probability. It should be 100% successful, right? The system said faintly. Yes. Okay, Yuanjie rubbed his hands excitedly. The last diamond enhancement coupon could still fail, almost made him strained. This time it's a 100% successful booster ticket. Not bad, really good. He first clicked on the skill data panel. Shinra Tenji, centered on itself, bounce or destroy all surrounding objects and skills and cause damage to them. Skill multiplier, own attack power x 300%, skill range 1 to 10 meters in diameter. What happens if I increase to level 7? He couldn't wait to use the enhancement coupon on Shinra Heavenly Sign enhancement +7 successful. Yuanjie clicked on the skill data panel again. Shinra Tenseigan. Skill multiplier, self-attack power x 800%, skill range, diameter 1 to 50 meters, I blanch. Bull batch. Yuanjie shouted excitedly. Comfortable, Li Tiansha can increase the skill attack power of Shinluo Shiansheng by nearly 3 times with one kick, not to mention the range. What is the concept of tripling? He didn't understand either, so he had the opportunity to try again. System, if the skill is increased to the full level of 10, can it have unlimited firepower? The system touched her head, and she said uncertainly, I don't know, or do you want to strengthen it? Try Ghost. It costs 100 gold spirit coins to strengthen once. And the key is that this thing will fail 7 on 8, if it fails, it will drop 0 directly, although he has a lot of gold spirit coins, but the money is not spent like this. Since Shinra Shiansheng has reached level 7, then in the first test in 3 days, I will show my skills. At the same time, the K family and other families are in the hot arrangement. Lao Zu, can this be done? Huh? Why not? Secret Realm Teleporter, our K family is involved. Chapter 18. Wait a minute, Yuanjie suddenly thought, since I can strengthen my skills, then can't I strengthen the Wangxiang Heavenly Introduction and 8 Gates Dunjia technique that I have learned so far? Thinking of this, he was excited. Although each enhancement requires 100 gold spirit coins, these 100 gold spirit coins can buy a weekly card. However, skill data is a real improvement. Huh? Why can't the 8 doors Dunjia be strengthened? The system gave him a blank look. You're thinking about fart eating? Yuanjie was speechless. He could only lead his hand to Wangxiangdan, Vientian Sky Lead, attract the designated target to your side, the range of attraction. 1 to 10 meters. Attraction goals. 3. Attraction strength. 5,000 kilograms. The difficulty of strengthening the first few levels is not high, 1 point is up, but by 5-6 it starts to be wrong. I'm blanching, why did I fail again? Level 5 strengthened on level 6, he failed alive 4 times, wasting 800 gold spirit coins in vain, and he was distressed. Can't afford to play, huh? System. Yuanjie was ruthless, closed his eyes and pressed several times in a row. He turned off the reinforcement prompt, and after a long time, Yuanjie slowly opened his eyes, plus 100,000 elephant heavenly citation, broken. Is it so easy to strengthen 10? It only takes 4 clicks and it is easy. He hurried to check the skill panel, Vientian heavenly citation. Attractive range. 1-1000 meters, depending on current strength. Attraction target. 100, based on current strength. Attraction intensity, unlimited. Extra effect, a black stick can be attached to hold it in place for 10 seconds. SHHH, Yuanjie gasped for air. The attraction intensity was infinite, and this alone was strong enough. A skill can be strengthened up to level 10, and at present, Vientian Xianai has reached the full level, and the data is very amazing. But what does the current strength mean in this bracketed basis? System, simply put, it means that your current strength is too poor to exert the maximum power of your skills. Yuanjie rubbed his hands, he saw the 3,000 gold spirit coins left in his backpack, and wanted to take advantage of the heat of his hand to strengthen the Shenra Xianten. There shouldn't be any surprises, right? If nothing else, there will be an accident, and 7 on 8 really failed. Blanche, Yuanjie had to spend 1,500 gold spirit coins to return Shenluo Xianzheng to level 7. Don't play, strengthen the poor 3 generations. Yuanjie was so depressed that he couldn't do it. Fortunately, the system does not have any particularly powerful Krypton gold gameplay now, otherwise, how can this little money be enough to play? He patted his butt and stood up again, and found that Li Tiansha was still running. He subconsciously looked at his watch. Good guy, it's been 2 hours. 983,984,985. Tiredness drilled from her forefeet to her bones. She could no longer see the way. Her whole body fluttered, completely relying on her will to persevere. Bang! She stumbled, fell to the ground, and never got up again. Where does she still have the strength to stand up? People are in a coma. Yuanjie quickly ran to her side and touched her neck. Fortunately, he picked her up distressedly, looked at her miserable white face, and shook his head in embarrassment. Well, why are you? Who would have thought that a student who had not attended the Spirit Academy would actually insist on running more than 900 laps in one night? Even if it was the group of high-caliber students in the Physical Imperial Department of the Desolate Ancient Academy, they couldn't do it, right? At 4 o'clock in the middle of the night, Li Tiansha woke up from a nightmare, and she was soaked in cold sweat. Yuanjie seemed to feel something. He pushed open her boudoir, turned on the light, and saw her gasping for air. What's wrong with you? Maybe the dream was too terrifying, and she didn't slow down for a while. Yuanjie sat on the edge of the bed and grabbed her shoulders, and said softly, "It's okay, I'm here." Li Tian was confused and found that she was actually in bed. Wasn't she still running a second ago? You ran until you were unconscious. I'll take you back, Yuanjie said lightly. You actually don't have to work so hard. Li Tian lowered his head in shame and muttered, "Aren't I afraid of dragging you down? I'm just an F-class physique. You are a great encouragement by my side. How can it be considered a drag?" Li Tiansha wanted to get out of bed, but found that he had no strength in his body. She blushed, not knowing what to do. She added a lot of water tonight for training, and now she needs to excrete it. Fortunately, Yuanjie noticed her abnormality and asked softly, "Do you want to go to the toilet?" Li Tiansha lowered his head and did not dare to look at him. His face was so red that he seemed to be able to rub water. "I'll carry you." Li Tiansha instinctively wanted to refuse, but the current situation did not allow her to object. Princess Yuanjie hugged her in her arms. lifted the toilet lid with her feet, and gently put her down. "Do you want me to help you take it off?" he chuckled. Li Tiansha gave him a fierce look, and said unceremoniously, "No need, please go out, thank you." Exhaustion will spread throughout her body, and she finally faded half a point. Yuanjie didn't have the mind to peek with white eyes, and he wouldn't use such dirty means to do it for the people he cared about. There was a sound of large beads and small beads falling on the jade plate inside, and it sounded for a full 1 minute. "Good fellow. There is so much water." After a long while, Li Tian's shallow voice came out. You come in," Yuanjie agreed, pushed open the toilet door, carried her back to the bed, and helped her cover the quilt. "Gone, good night." Li Tiansha hugged the doll on the bed in shame and turned away from looking at him. After returning to the room, Yuanjie asked the system, "Is there any way to keep her from having nightmares? Is it okay to ride a wheel eye?" "Probably not. Maybe your Sharingan level is too low. Yuanjie can't sleep left and right. Now his spiritual power level is still too low. Even if he eats the cultivation experience potion, he has only reached the 7th order. He simply came to the playground to exercise. When he ran 500 laps, he couldn't hold on. It's hard to imagine, how did Li Tiansha do it last night? His root bone has 22 points, which is a good realm among his peers. He estimated that Li Tiansha's root bone was only about 10 points, and she had been weak and sick since she was a child. The more she tried so hard, the more distressed he became. Who wants to watch their favorite girl go to bed every night so tired that she collapses? However, because of her physique, the strength of training and the acquisition of spiritual power were not proportional. If it was an ordinary S-level physique who worked as hard as her, she would have risen to the gradual convergence realm. If she wanted to surpass those geniuses, she could only sweat several times or even 10 times more than them. Alice, a sense of powerlessness rose in Yuanjie's heart. Li Tiansha is a complete person with his own ideas. He can't influence her thoughts. She is so desperate. There must be a reason. Only, what is the reason? "System, can I read Li Tiansha's memory?" The system glanced at him with disdain. "Are you trying to turn her into a fool? You know, forcibly searching for souls will most likely cause the other party to be delirious. And I advise you not to have such thoughts." After hearing these words, Yuanjie's eyes lit up. "If there is such a side effect, what about me searching for others?" Chapter 19. 2 days have passed unremarkably, and tomorrow the first test of the spiritual power exam will begin. In the past 2 nights, Li Tiansha has forced himself to run 1,000 laps every night. The results were very remarkable, and her spiritual power level cultivation reached the 8th order of Heisei, which was even higher than Yuanjie. However, Yuanjie's spiritual power pool was much deeper than hers, and she trained so hard to achieve such results, it can only be said that it is average. After Yuanjie taught her the 8 doors of Dunjia, she can now open up to 3 set gates, and her speed and attack power can be increased by 3 times in a short period of time. Now Li Tiansha training has a new pattern. The start of the door running, the cow gets a batch. With the training of the 8 gates of Dunjia, her cultivation speed was more than doubled, but the price would be very huge. The bomb in Dunjia itself is to squeeze the body to enhance various abilities. Yuanjie was afraid that one day she would hang up, so he had to take out a recovery pill from the system every day after training and give it to her. In the darkness, 2 strong men were silently observing. "Deenzing, this little Nizzy is also too hard-working, right? Do it every night." Xingjian's eyes were confused, and they came over every night to peek at their training. Li Tiansha trains for 6 hours every night, while Yuanjie sleeps on the grass most of the time. Xingjian sighed. Why is the child who worked so hard F-grade? For the first time, she felt that heaven was unfair. Even if Li Tiansha was A-grade, she could make an exception and use her authority to enroll her in the academy once. Unfortunately, she is the most garbage physique. If nothing else, his whole life will stop at the 9th order of gradual convergence. If there was an accident, it was the dean of another desolate ancient academy. Let's go. I can only wish them good luck in the spiritual power exam. In the first test, the 2 gods bring a pit, and the points are calculated according to the team. In other words, even if Li Tiansha does nothing, she can go to the spiritual power academy with a score of the first test, and if she wants to be admitted to a good school, she has to watch the retest. The re-examination is a 2-person battle format. If you can't win all and enter the top 20, there is no hope of being admitted to Jingchang Higher College. You can't lose a handful during the period. There's more than one city in Jianghe in the entire Daxia dynasty, and colleges of higher learning have always been scarce than indiscriminate, with a total enrollment of up to 200 students every year. This year, Jianghe can have 20 places because many children of the family have transferred to other schools. Usually, there is only one place. 3 years ago, Yuanjie pushed all the way into the 6-Dao Academy with his super strength. In the next 2 years, the best students in Jianghe City did not go to 3 books. This year, 10 people from the 3rd class of Jianghe No. 1 Middle School were selected in advance. Yuanjie and Wang Qing must be among them, as well as the Li Weiming who jumped from the 6th floor under the control of Yuanjie's illusion, and he was also admitted to the desolate ancient academy in advance. Wang Gaozhen smiled so that his mouth was crooked, but he didn't expect that 2,000 gold spirit coins would be exchanged for a bunch of geniuses from Jingcheng. This deal is not a loss at all. And the principals of the 2nd and 3rd middle schools who were present at that time regretted it, and they already knew that even 10,000 gold spirit coins were earned by themselves. Now Wang Gaozhen not only inherits the favor of the Jingcheng family, the key is that there are currently 30 on the Xianjiao list are all from Jianghe No. 1 Middle School, although 29 are transferred. What about transfers? Not yet graduated from their school? The future life trajectory of that group of geniuses must be inseparable from the graduation certificate of Jianghe No. 1 High School, no matter what the achievements. In a villa in Jianghe City, Li Weiming finally recovered, and when he thought of that experience, he was afraid. Xiaoming, you have to remember, don't provoke Yuanjie, you know, the father admonished earnestly. But the mother next to her was not happy when she heard it, and she sneered, what's wrong, how about Yuanjie being an SSS-level physique? Provoking our Li family, he must eat his own evil consequences. Li Hua glanced at the woman beside him and said indifferently, it's my Li family, not yours, you are just from a humble background, and I have to be favored to enter the Li family, this is our Li family's resolution, you don't have an opinion. The woman stepped back in a panic and said no more. She is just Li Hua's 17-room concubine, she has no physique, and she is favored by Li Hua by virtue of her posture. But unexpectedly, she was born as a mortal to Xianjiao, and she recently floated. Li Weiming was indoctrinated with the idea that physique is above all else since he was a child, and he himself looked down on his mother, so naturally he did not take her words to heart. The son understands that there is no provocation, no conflict, no confrontation. Be friendly with him. Li Hua nodded appreciatively, children can be taught, such a scene happened in the major families, and most of them did not dare to act rashly without understanding Yuanjie's true strength. Moreover, there is no benefit in provoking Yuanjie, and he also has a very strong sister behind him. Yuanjie became famous in Jingcheng as early as 2 years ago, and it is said that the Fan family was destroyed by her. Compared with Yuanjie, Yuanjie is really a good child, at least he won't kill without saying a word. In school, Zhaozu and Li Weiming once bumped into him and survived. It shows that Yuanjie himself is not bad, as long as you don't touch his bottom line, it's good to say anything. On May 18th, at 9 o'clock in the morning, all the senior students gathered in the playground of Jianghe No. 1 Middle School. At the same time, all the parents of the students, some of their families and prestigious schools came. Because Yuanjie is the only SSS-level genius in the Great Xia Kingdom this year, and the second SSS-level genius in the past 100 years, it has attracted much attention. Many families come with the intention of wooing, and the last thing that the family lacks is women. Yuanjie himself is a woman, they have no way, but Yuanjie is different, he has a handle. As long as the school-age woman of their family is favored by him and married, it is not an exaggeration to say that they take often place. Even if it is a concubine, which family man does not have more than a dozen concubines? There are even dozens of rooms. When Yuanjie and Li Tiansha first arrived, many families flocked to them. Brother Yuanjie, you are really handsome and extraordinary. The Jingcheng royal family sees that you have the posture of a great emperor. Brother Yuanjie and Miss Shallow are indeed talented women, but our Mo family also has people who are not inferior to Miss Shallow's beauty, or should I introduce them to you, Brother Yuanjie? With your talent, this first test will definitely win the championship. The Jingcheng Su family is very optimistic about you. Various flattering voices came from the side. Yuanjie just smiled indifferently, and Li Tiansha was very nervous. At this time, a discordant voice came out. Li Tiansha, I see that you are very good looking, although your physique is a little garbage, Just make do with it. Yuanjie is just an orphan with dead parents, without any family background. He can't give you happiness. But I can. You come and be my concubine. I promise you a life of prosperity and wealth. Yuanjie heard, and he judged who said it by observing the shape of everyone's mouths through the eyes of the writing wheel. When Li Tiansha heard this, he was furious. Did he have to rely on beauty to survive? Any of you can scold her, but you must not insult Brother Ji. If there were no Yuan family sisters and brothers, Li Tiansha would have died 10 years ago. Yuanjie narrowed his eyes. What kind of kid from the family was so ignorant of life and death that he dared to say such a thing? Yuan heavenly lead. The crowd was suddenly violently pushed away, giving way to a path, and the man was forcibly drawn to the two of them. Yuanjie grabbed his neck with one hand and said with a smile, "Do you dare to say the paragraph you just said?" Chapter 20. Jin Chang Qianjia. The man was immediately identified. Jin Yifan blushed. He felt that he was struggling to even breathe now. I'm from the Jin family. You can't touch me." The Jin family was shocked. How many times have they explained? Don't take the initiative to provoke Yuanjie. This person must not listen. Jin Yifan's brother Jin Xiaoyu happened to be in the same class as Yuanjie, and he stepped forward to dissuade. "Yuanjie, this is my cousin. If he offends you, he can be handed over to the family to deal with. Give me face." Trouble to put him down first. Yuanjie glanced at the other party lightly, and said coldly, "Do you think you have a big face? Jin Yifan only has the strength of the third order of Heisei, and he can barely reach it by the family feeding heavenly materials and earth treasures. This time I came to Jianghua, mainly to see what kind of women with low status or physical trash can engage in it and deceive." As the school flower of Jianghua No. 1 Middle School, Li Tiansha, he was short of breath after seeing her for the first time. Beautiful, it's so beautiful. Plain face can be so pure and moving. Jin Yifan was so moved that he completely forgot the family's instructions. No matter how powerful his Yuanjie physique is, how about it? He was nothing more than an orphan with dead parents and no background. He certainly wouldn't dare to do anything to me. That's what he thought before he went out. But now he panicked. Yuanjie has no family background. Because of this, so people are not afraid of you wearing shoes with bare feet. Because Jin Yifan thinks of himself as a big family, he is usually arrogant and domineering. Even if he makes a mistake, the family will help him wipe his ass. His voice was loud and could not be concealed from everyone present. Even if Jin Yifan is provocative in words, how can the Jin family say that it is a Jin Chang family? How can you allow Yuanjie to insult? Jin Yaoxing, the head of the Jin family, stood up and released his momentum of gradually merging into the ninth order. Jin Yaoxing smiled and said, "That old man's face, I don't know if you give it or not. My family is also rich in the wind, and it is her blessing and honor to see your girlfriend. Having the opportunity to attach to our Jin Chang family is her creation. It's better like this. I see that your talent is okay. Let you join our Jin family. You and Jin Yifan live and fly together. Wouldn't it be beautiful to exchange ideas with each other?" Yuanjie's face suddenly became gloomy. Seeing this, the other families immediately retreated to the sides and watched the fight between the two sides with interest. Yuanjie leaned close to Li Tiansha and whispered in his ear, "Shallow, the scene of the meeting may dirty your eyes. You close your eyes first." Li Tiansha nodded very obediently, and she turned her back and closed her eyes. Everyone looked at her strangely, not knowing why. Yuanjie raised his head, his left eye socket was bruised, his pupils turned wide, and his right eye became scarlet. "It's not good, he's going to cast an illusion." Everyone hurriedly did not look over, and only observed with consciousness. The head of the Jin family was panicked and could not avoid it. After a while, he found that nothing had happened, and immediately laughed. "Ha ha ha, Yuanjie, your spiritual power level is too weak, and the illusion cannot control the old man." Everyone turned around reassuringly. Yuanjie turned his head sideways and revealed a weird smile. "Who said that the person I want to control is you? This dog, I'll give it back to you." After speaking, Jin Yifan's body turned around and flew in the direction of Jin's family. Some people breathed a sigh of relief. After all, Yuanjie was the object they wanted to woo, and if there was a conflict with the Jin family now, it would be difficult to have a hard time in the future. Someone nodded secretly. "This young man is good, can flex and stretch, and is not against the Jin family at present. It is indeed the best choice." Some people were dismissive. They had heard before they came that Yuanjie was not easy to mess with, and now it seems that this is just the case. The Jin family provoked him, said such frivolous things to the object he liked, and belittled him in words, "Isn't it just as okay?" After Jin Yifan flew out 10 meters, Yuanjie suddenly shook his right hand. Jin Yifan was shocked, and actually retreated his pants under the public. "This is not all." I saw his hands pulling hard, and a painful look appeared on his face. "Dad, save me. I don't want." Jin Yifan cried for help, but his movement still didn't stop. Compared to cutting off children and grandchildren, it is not a matter to see the light with a small child. Shaft dares. Jin Yaoxing angrily burst out all the strength of the Ninth Order, trying to suppress Yuanjie's control. Yuanjie just waved his right hand with a light smile. Shenluo Xianzheng, the suppressive power from cultivation instantly dissipated. This strange scene made the onlookers gasp for air, and they didn't even have time to complain about Jin Yifan's short and sharp words. People are still conscious, but their bodies are not controlled. What kind of illusion is this? So scary? The Jin family master eagerly rushed to Jin Yifan, wanting to use brute force to stop his self-harming behavior. But no matter how you wrench it, you can't break his evil hand. Jin Yifan continued to fly. Ugh! A blood arrow gushed out and sprayed onto Jin Yaoxing's face. Shhh! Everyone's hearts trembled. This method is really cruel. In front of the major families, he cut off his roots, and the most important thing is that the controlled Jin Yifan is sober. The onlookers immediately clamped their legs in fear. Jin Yaoxing was stunned for a while before reacting. He threw Jin Yifan aside, and walked towards Yuanjie step by step. He wiped the blood on his face, and his eyebrows looked very hideous. Nowadays, the rules of heaven and earth have changed greatly. Raising a daughter is simple, but it is difficult to have children. 10 treasures for a man. For the family, every man is precious. Moreover, Jin Yifan is still a concubine. Even if he has no talent in cultivation, he can continue the incense for the Jin family. In front of so many people, Yuanjie played Jin Yifan. Although he could change it again, the problem was not big. But this behavior is undoubtedly standing on the head of the Jin family, and if they don't give Yuanjie a little color, how will their Jin family gain a foothold in Jingchang in the future? Shaft, you will pay for your actions. His speed instantly became so fast that even he didn't expect it. He came to Yuanjie at an incredible speed, and suddenly found that his body could not move. Yuanjie waved his hand and fixed him with a black rod. The black rod can be seen by no one except Yuanjie. Everyone saw the head of the Jin family kneeling in front of Yuanjie in a strange posture. It's good that I raised Vientian to the full level a few days ago, otherwise I really can't control him. Yuanjie's current Vientian heavenly attraction can control a strong person of the 7th order of gradual convergence, that is, a person who is one realm higher than himself. Jin Yaoxing's 9th order strength is illusory, and his actual combat power is only 7th order. Yuanjie squatted down, looked at him with a grin and said, "What you just said, can you repeat it again?" Jin Yaoxing's heart was cold, his anger suddenly disappeared, and he was afraid. He was afraid that he would repeat the tragic end of Jin Yifan, but he had dozens of children under him, and if he did this, his children would definitely be ridiculed. However, momentum must not be lost. Jin Yaoxing pretended to be calm. "How are you staying?" Yuanjie raised his head lightly and nodded in the direction of Jin Yifan. "Oh, just like him," Jin Yaoxing screamed. You can't do this to an old man." He was completely panicked. "Yuanjie, let him go," Wang Gaozhen said in a deep voice. The reason why he stood up was because he was signaled by the major colleges in Jingcheng. The heads of the major academies don't want to make a big deal out of it, and the money will be wasted, and Yuanjie must find a way to keep it. Yuanjie raised his eyebrows. "Release him? Will he be able to let me go?" "Principal, I remember that your daughter is also one of the top 10 beauties in Jianghu No. 1 middle school. Do you want to stand up and let Jin Yifan see her face?" Wang Gu was speechless. He shook his head and said, "You shouldn't have done this just now. Everyone, you have all seen the cause and effect. If I swallow my anger, what will happen to Li Xianxian? I think you know better than I do." Chapter 21. Jin Yifan, 28 years old. 5 years ago, he traveled in Nanfeng, took a fancy to a secular woman, promised her glory and wealth in public, and then the woman mysteriously disappeared a day later, and now she is in seclusion in the Jin family's underground palace, and life is better than death. 3 years ago, he held a birthday dinner with Jingchang Ningji and Ninghao, and used despicable means to defile the 10 women of the family present. 2 years ago, he took a fancy to Ma, the right wife of King Jingchang's patriarch, Wang Kezi, worked firewood many times, and gave birth to a son with him. Half a year ago, he took a fancy to Wang Kexin, a woman in the inner room of the Jingchang royal family. Secretly drugged and stunned, insulted him and killed him. Yuanjie stood in the center of the scene and said the ugly things that Jin Yifan had done, like several family treasures. Among them, not only secular women, but also major families. The king of the Jingchang royal family was at the scene, and he said angrily, "Nonsense. I am in love with my beloved wife, how could she cheat?" Yuanjie smiled mysteriously. "These are all learned by my soul search, Jin Yifan. Believe it or not, my advice is, go back and do a paternity test." Soul search? Wang Kezhi's face changed, and he left in a hurry. As soon as he left, there was a lot of talk around him. I think that what Yuanjie said should be right. His son does look similar to Jin Yifan. The person next to him was shocked when he heard it. You can also see a 1-year-old child. Some characteristics will be inherited, like, short. Wang Qing stood up, her silver hair full of winds and self-praise. She looked at Yuanjie seriously and said, "Yuanguangzi, what you just said is true? Wang Kexin is Wang Qing's own sister, and she really disappeared half a year ago. Wang Kexin's spirit body is placed in the Jin family's underground palace, and it has been well preserved so far, and Jin Yifan has a special proclivity, and everyone who understands it understands it." Everyone's eyes looked at Jin Yifan in unison, and their eyes seemed to be about to burst into flames. I blanch. What a beast. Doesn't let this go? Wang Qing secretly sent a message to the strong man of the family, and he must rush to the Jin family. The strength of the Jin family is not comparable to the Wang family, although the Jin family is the top 20 families in the capital Jingcheng, but the Wang family is one of the 3 major families in Jingcheng, and the ancestor of the Wang family even has a god of the 6th order of the Great Knight. Jin Yaoxing was paralyzed in place with a numb expression. Yuanjie had already untied him, but he didn't have the heart to resist at all now. If Jin Yifan really did those ridiculous things, then their Jin family should not see the sun tomorrow. The source of everything is because Jin Yifan, a rebel, did not listen to the family's instructions and provoked Yuanjie. Jin Yifan was stupidly nibbling something over there, and when he saw it, he couldn't help but vomit disgustingly. Wang Qing bowed solemnly to Yuanjie. "If what you just said is the truth, then our Wang family owes you a favor." Yuanjie waved his hand and said, "Human favors are exempt. Just don't come to provoke me." Wang Qing's expression froze. Does this provocation contain other meanings? Shallow. Let's go. The onlookers gave way very intimately. Jin Yaoxing stood up after acting. His eyes were full of hatred. If what Yuanjie just said is true, then he is the eternal sinner of the Jin family. It is necessary to accompany the Jin family to the funeral. If it is fake, the family must not be disgraced. He must die too. After everyone in the Jin family got the signal, they collectively burst out with super energy, surrounding Yuanjie and the two. "Boy, you're dying. What about SSS-level physique? My Jin family is here, see who dares to protect him?" "I dare." Vistein Xingjian of the desolate ancient academy suddenly descended from the sky and stood in front of Yuanjie and Li Tiansha. Dao Man of the 6th Dao Academy also stood up. Although Yuanjie was not her student, his sister Yuanjie was the best in the academy, and she couldn't stand idly by in public or private. You guys," Jin Yaoxing said with a grim face, "Desolate Gu, 6th Dao, the gods of your academy have gone to the border. Are you sure you want to go against the Jin family? Patriarch Jin, SSS-level physique is rare to see in 100 years. For the future of Daxia, please think twice." Jin Yaoxing smiled miserably. "If the Jin family is dead, what will the future of the great Xia dynasty have to do with me?" Xingjian's expression changed. "Patriarch Jin, be cautious, father, let's go too." Wang Qing's father Wang Riho shook his head and said, "Wait first, rashly go against the Jin family. It is irrational to fight in the nest, and the family alliance will blame it." Many families choose to watch coldly, except for the Ning family. Just now Yuanjie broke out that their family's Ninghao did a good job. Whether it is true or not, the Ning family will definitely not let him go. However, the Ning family did not dare to side with the Jin family. What if it was true? Isn't it smearing on yourself? Jin Yaoxing's thick frown suddenly stretched, and he gritted his teeth and said, Good, your academy is very good. After so many years, it seems that you have swelled up, and you don't put the family in your eyes anymore." Xingjian hung a smile like a spring breeze. "Patriarch Jin, let's just talk about things. Don't put the big hat on the academy. Could it be that your Jin family can represent all families? Wow, I really didn't expect that the Jin family would become a ward of the family. Dao Man pretended to be surprised and looked around. The family in the crowd looked bad, not to mention whether the Jin family was at fault. For the sake of the Ning family, it was really not worth letting their family offend the powerful academy. The Saga Alliance will not care, it will only scold you for criticism. Jin Yaoxing said eagerly and loudly, "Dear families, if you remain silent today, who will cry out for you when he suffers every day? Okay, don't pull the tiger skin to pull the flag, are your words enough?" Yuanjie's voice came from behind Xingjun and Dao Man. Xingjun hurriedly transmitted a message to him, "Yuanjie, calm down, their strength is stronger than yours." Dao Man also persuaded him not to try to provoke the Jin family. At present, the Jin family has 6 gradual convergence realm masters, the highest 9th order and the lowest 3rd order. There are also 10 Heisei realms, omitted here. Yuanjie raised his eyebrows and asked disapprovingly, "Do you think I can't beat them?" Xingjun's expression froze. Yes, he is an SSS-level physique, such a talent against the sky. It is normal to skip the challenge. Only, how much can it be surpassed? Yuanjie walked to Xingjun and Dao Man, and gently raised his right hand. "Give it to me, Vientian heavenly lead." The stupid Jin Yifan was sucked to Yuanjie a meter away. Spicy days, the wind visible to the naked eye tore Jin Yifan's body into blood mist. Originally, Yuanjie didn't want to kill him, but when he searched for his soul, he saw Jin Yifan playing with Li Tiansha's plan in the future, and then thought of the secular woman in the Jin family's underground palace who is better off than dead, and his heart became cold. Coupled with Jin Yifan and Jin Yaoxing's words, and his mutilation of hundreds of secular women, Yuanjie was even more angry. Jin Yi's dirty thoughts and the crimes he committed, let him live, too cheap for him. Yuanjie wants to tell the world with his actions that Bat thinks about persecuting the people around him all day. Jin Yifan is the end. The onlookers were shocked. This son is too terrible, now at an age can kill without blinking, the future. Jin Yaoxing smiled angrily, "Okay, boy, I look down on you, fellow friends, you have also seen that it was Yuanjie's hand that moved first, and our Jin family is just a legitimate defense. At such a young age, let my Jin family take the place of Xiangxing Dao and eradicate this scourge of yours." If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 22. The onlookers sounded very harsh, and some were disgusted that the Jin family stood on the moral high ground and spoke. If Yuanjie is just an ordinary person, and his strength is not good and he is killed by you in public, the Jin family will not bear any responsibility. This is the family, defying the moral law. In recent years, how many secular people have been mutilated by the children of the family? If anyone can count it, it is definitely a shocking number. At present, the family members who are watching at the school gate account for only a small part, and most of them are ordinary secular families. I don't know who shouted good first. A large crowd shouted. The shouts rose one after another. The law did not blame the public, and your family members who had the ability to arrest us all. Yuanjie took out the spa and wiped his hands. Although he didn't touch it, he felt dirty. More than half an hour has passed since the confrontation here, and seeing that the first test of the spiritual power exam is about to begin, it seems that it cannot be done. Principal Wanghausen could only inform the parents to go back first and wait for another notice. Parents are watching the excitement. Who wants to go? Unexpectedly, the abnormality suddenly changed, and the parents of the students standing close to the Jin family suddenly died violently. Fell in a pool of blood. The action was so fast that even Yuanjie couldn't stop it. Jin Yaoxing said expressionlessly, "How many times have I said that the family is not to be disgraced? You must not listen." Everyone was terrified, but they didn't expect that Jin Jio would openly attack ordinary people. How dare they? Aren't you afraid? The Jin family's move made even other family members unable to stand it. Secular people are instantly scared to pee, worried that it is themselves who will die in the next second, and some people simply don't watch the play and run away directly. Where else do they dare to accuse the Jin family? Because they know that even if they report to the official, it is useless. The official government hinders the face of the family, and can only compromise. They will die in vain. Even those who report officials will suffer retaliation. For so many years, they are used to it. Li Tiansha clenched his fists, and he could see that she was angry, but what was the use of anger? Did she fight through the family? Yuanjie scanned the surroundings in silence, and actually killed 10 people. Jin Yaoxing raised his chin defiantly and said to Yuanjie, "You owe my son a life. Since you don't pay it back, then I can only attack them." Don't blame me, Yuanjie, listen up. If you dare to touch my Jin family, I will kill 10 untouchables. After all, their lives are not as noble as our family. Pretty reasonable, right? The masses are indignant. But they did not dare to refute loudly, they were also afraid of death. 2 teachers, can you restrict the movement of the Jin family? Xingjun and Daoman sighed one after another. I'm sorry, although their behavior is very disgusting, we can't take the initiative to do something to the Jin family. This may trigger a war between the 2 factions of the family and the academy, and the number of casualties will be even more. In fact, in their opinion, death is just an insignificant person, and sometimes, rational abandonment of some people can save more people. To put it in a big way, how can the Jin family be the top 20 families in Jingcheng, although the academy can handle it, but it is not necessary. They are not saviors, they only need to keep Yuanjie, and the others, there is nothing they can do. At present, the Jin family is just talking ruthlessly. However, if it has to be true, the academy has no way for the time being. The 8 gods of the academy are all abroad, so they can only try to delay the time. Yuanjie smiled. It's me who killed your Jin family, not them. Do you think that if you kill a few random people, I will be soft on you? But the problem now is that Tiansha and I can indeed force all of them over, but the control time is only 10 seconds. With his current strength, even if he opens the birth gate, 3 gates, he can't kill the powerhouse of the gradual convergence realm in seconds. So after 10 seconds, he couldn't stop the Jin family from killing at all. In the end, it is still insufficient strength. Jin Yaoxing saw Yuanjie's uncaring look, and his heart was depressed. Since the hard one doesn't work, then come the soft one. Give up resistance, Yuanjie. I'll give you another chance. As long as you choose to join my Jin family and recognize me as my righteous father, your harm to my son Jin Yifan will be written off. You have to think about it well. As we all know, the higher the physique, the more difficult it is to cultivate, and the cultivation resources that need to be consumed are thousands of times that of ordinary people. You are alone and have no money and no background, even if you awaken the SSS-level physique. Without the support of a big family behind you, it will be difficult to get ahead, and in the end, you can only disappear. Look at your sister again, it's still a little fusion after 3 years in the academy. If she had married my Jin family, we would have made her a powerhouse in the Great Lake Realm within 2 years. Jin Yaoxing tried to persuade Yuanjie, but these words were aimed at the academy, making Xingjun and the others angry. Paying a rebel who caused trouble everywhere and getting an SSS-level physique genius, Jin Yaoxing felt that this deal was very cost-effective. Everyone was waiting for Yuanjie's answer. Li Tian's expression was gloomy, and she knew that Brother Ji would cause trouble in order to give her anger. This matter is all because of her. If it weren't for her good looks and being targeted by her children, Brother Ji would not have fallen into such a dilemma. She thought about it and stood up and was pulled by Yuanjie. Yuanjie closed his eyes and shook his head and said, "Don't worry, I still have a way." Seeing this, Xingjun, vice president of the Wasteland Ancient Academy, negotiated with Jin Yaoxing, the head of the Jin family, the genius to stay. It all depends on his personal will. Jin Yaoxing snorted, "Do you think my Jin family is bargaining with him? He killed me, Jin Yaoxing's son. If he didn't join the Jin family, he would bear the consequences. Give us the Ancient Academy a face, give him a little time to think about it." Jin Yaoxing smiled, "Your desolate Ancient Academy is indeed high in the eyes of the world, but in the eyes of our family? It's not as good as shit. How old are you? Our desolate Ancient Academy is willing to compensate 10,000 gold spirit coins for this matter." Everyone was shocked when they heard this. 10,000 gold spirit coins. This is a huge amount. The secular parents were stunned. They were extremely poor all their lives, and they might not earn enough to earn 10,000 gold spirit coins. 10,000 gold spirit coins just to buy the life of that disciple Jin Yifan? Jin Yaoxing snorted, "The lives of our excellent sons and daughters of the Jin family, in your eyes, are only worth 10,000 gold spirit coins." Xingjun's face was dull. 10,000 gold spirit coins was already the limit. It seemed that the other party wanted to blackmail them. 1 million gold spirit coins. "Don't talk to me about one less," Daoman said sharply. "Patriarch Jin, you don't have to step in. Is Jin Yifan worth the price?" "I said it's worth it," Jin Yaoxing drank fiercely. He is my own son, gotta add money. Yuanjie is immersed in the system at this time, and he is trying to strengthen the skill level of Shinra Xianzhen. If Shenluo Xianzheng reaches the level, maybe he will be able to kill everyone in the Jin family. He also thought about releasing the Super Shinra Xianzheng, not to mention the shortcomings of chanting for too long, but there were too many people around, in case he couldn't control it well. Your special 1,500 gold spirit coins can't be strengthened to 10, right? System, loan 10,000 gold spirit coins, okay, 5,000ths of a day, do you agree? Hurry, help, Yuanjie's crazy click strengthening, +8 failed, +9 failed. Until after spending 5,000 gold spirit coins, he finally strengthened the Shinra Heavenly campaign to the full level. Shinra Tenji, centered on itself, bounce or destroy all surrounding objects and skills and cause damage to them. Skill multiplier, own attack power x 2000%, skill range, diameter 1-100 meters. According to the current strength of the host, I can't think of +7 and +10 ratios, and the skill multiplier is simply a world. +7 is only 800%, while +10 has 2000%. Congratulations to the host for successfully increasing Vientiane Xianxing and Shinra Xianzheng to the full level. Unlocked skills, Earth Explosion Heavenly Star, Earth Explosion Heavenly Star skill multiplier, own attack power x 5000%. According to current strength, Aizhou, Yuanjie was ecstatic, and he couldn't imagine that there was this surprise. Yuanjie, have you thought it through? Jin Yaoxing was too lazy to bargain with the academic. He had been waiting for 10 minutes and had long lost patience. If you don't respond again, don't blame the old man for being ruthless. Chapter 23. Response? What response do you want? Yuanjie stared at Jin Yaoxing without squinting. Huh? Jin Yaoxing suddenly jumped his right eyelid, feeling bad. However, he did not pay attention to it, and said with a sinister smile, how? Do you still want to resist? Think about that bunch of damn untouchables. Do you dare to do something to me? Ha 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 ha, Yuanjie said to all the people present except the Jin family. All the personnel retreated. I'm going to start pretending. All the ordinary people are very obedient and quickly run back. The Jin family does not think so. Do you think that if you run, you will not die? Ignorant mortals. Most of the family members hesitated, not understanding what Yuanjie meant. Wang family, retreat, Wang Qing shouted and took the lead in flashing back. Family Zhao, retreat, Li family, retreat. With the Wang family taking the lead, almost all the families retreated. It's about to go to war, isn't it looking for death to stand so close to watch the play? In addition to the Ning families, they wanted to see what this kid was doing. The Ning family is the same as the Jin family, they all want to kill Yuanjie. If the Jin family can't kill Yuanjie, both sides will definitely lose both, and at that time, it will be time for their Ning family to step forward to mend the knife. Jin Yaoxing quickly sealed his hands and suddenly slapped the ground. Earth Dragon, get up. Suddenly, the ground shook violently, and the onlookers stood unsteadily and fell to the ground one after another. I saw a big pit appear in front of Jin Yaoxing, and the stones condensed into an Earth Dragon. The Earth Dragon soared, tearing open the blood basin and mouth, opening its teeth and dancing its claws to ignore, and the four people in front of it. This is the Fusion Realm Dragon summoned by all the skills of my Jin family. See how you can block it. Even Xingjun and Dao Man's pupils contracted a little. This Earth Dragon, I am afraid that it has reached the strength of the 6th order of the Fusion Realm, right? Even they are difficult to deal with. Xingjun took a deep breath and said slowly, Patriarch Jin, why use such a move against a child? Jin Yaoxing did not respond, and the convergence situation was fierce. Yuanjie walked forward, closed his right eye, and slowly stretched out his right hand, palm up. There was a strange energy condensing in his palm. This is, a few cut antennas. Yuanjie suddenly opened his right eye, and there was a purple light. The black ball in Yuanjie's hand could be seen slowly rising with the naked eye, and Jin Yaoxing was shocked. Quick! Stop him! It's late. Blood oozed from Yuanjie's right eye. Earth Explosion Heavenly Star. Suddenly, the sky shook, and an earthquake that was even more violent than just now struck. The Earth Dragon, everyone in the Jin family, and the Ning family who were standing relatively far ahead, their bodies flew uncontrollably towards the sky. Save me! Jin Yaoxing fluttered his hands and feet, calling for help to the Ning family. The Ning family panicked, and if they didn't run anymore, the whole family had to open a banquet. However, the Ning family, who was running slowly, still took off uncontrollably and flew towards the black ball. At this time, the ground began to crack, split into pieces and slowly rose into the air. Huh? A huge crack appeared in the school gate archway, and Wang Qing shouted in panic, "Retreat! Continue to retreat." After a while, the school gate archway shattered into more than a dozen parts and soared into the air. The Jin family and the Ning family, who were absorbed into the air, their bodies were squeezed into one piece, and they watched as the earth and stone smashed into their bodies. The screams came and went, but soon, no one could hear them. Receive. Yuanjie's right hand clenched into a fist, then shook his head and closed his right eye, but the bloodstains at the corners of his eyes looked like a demon in the eyes of everyone. There was silence. A huge ball was quietly suspended 100 meters above the entrance of Jianghu No. 1 Middle School. God, this is a miracle, ordinary people snorted, their lips constantly shaking. So, that's how the moon was born. The family stared at the giant ball in front of them in shock, unable to speak for a long time. What kind of exercises is this? Several strong. I'm afraid this is not a practice, right? It is the skill that comes with Yuanjie's eyes. It is worthy of an SSS-level physique, and I am happy and sincere. The high-level skill Earth Explosion Heavenly Star, which should have been used only by the Eye of Reincarnation, Yuanjie forcibly cast it in the state of the three-hook jade riding wheel eye, which instantly overdrew all the spiritual power in his body. His body shook weakly, and Li Tiansha quickly helped him. Huh? Your eyes are bleeding. At this time, Yuanjie's state made her feel extremely distressed. Xingjun and Dao Man were still in a state of shock, and when they heard Li Tiansha's words, they came back to their senses and hurriedly checked his injuries. I'm okay. Yuanjie's lips were white. This move was too strong, and forcibly using it with his current strength caused a lot of burden on his body. You still said it's okay. Li Tiansha hugged him with red eyes, and tears fell drop by drop. It was the first time she had seen him look so weak, and if something happened to Brother Ji, she would never forgive herself for the rest of her life. The Ning family was shocked, and it took a long time to slow down. It looks like we have 6 of us still on it. As soon as these words came out, it was deathly quiet. Yes, the 15 members of the Jin family and the 6 members of their Ning family were all sealed in stone balls. The highest status and skill of the Ning family is the 6th son of the Ning family, Ningtao. He was very bored now. He already knew that Yuanjie's technique was so strong, he should have run away earlier. Fortunately, the life and death of the 6 clans are unknown. Nope. He must be asked to put people down. Ningtao shouted angrily at Yuanjie. You, immediately release our Ning family from inside. Yuanjie smiled. Release it for you to collect the corpse. Ningtao suddenly changed color. Sure enough, is he still dead? He was furious, pointed at Yuanjie and scolded. You just kill the Jin family. Why do you want to do something to our Ning family? Didn't they all tell you to go just now? All gave half a minute to retreat. You guys don't go. Who is to blame? Yuanjie drank the bottle of recovery potion, and his body gradually gained strength, but his right eye, which was still closed, everyone could see that he was still very weak. Ningtao knew that he was at a loss, but he still said unsparingly, it doesn't matter to you if we leave. Anyway, you can't do anything to our Ning family. If they have any 3 long and 2 short, you can't afford 10 cheap lives. Yuanjie didn't think so, although he couldn't release the Earth Explosion Heavenly Star again, but Shenluo Xian's Hang could still be used, just with the strength of the other party's gradual convergence of the 5th or 6th order, he really couldn't deal with him. Xingjun came out at this time to play the circle. Ningtao, if you don't listen to the advice, don't blame Yuanjie. I believe this technique is range damage, and you can't choose the target. Ningtao saw Yuanjie lying weakly in Li Tiansha's arms, and he knew in his heart that he must be the end of the strong crossbow now. This SSS-level physique is too perverted, if you let it grow. Moreover, from the time he stood up to accuse Yuanjie, the grudge between the 2 parties had already been settled. According to Yuanjie's character of flaws and retribution, he will definitely not let them go. Moreover, the Ning family and the Jin family have a close relationship, and their lips are cold. Don't kill now, but when? So, his eyes froze, and he drew his sword and flew towards Yuanjie. He awakened the physical imperial system, although the level is not high, only a grade, he is also a master of the gradual 6th order. Xingjun didn't expect that the other party would do it directly. He's so fast. There is simply no time to resist. Chapter 24 What Ning Tao chose to strengthen was his footsteps, and the sword he used with all his strength could not be reacted even by a fusion realm master. He is confident that he can kill with one hit. But no one expected that the abnormality would suddenly change. Ning Tao suddenly fell to the ground, and he looked back in confusion. Half of his body is still 5 meters away. No matter how he thinks, he can't think of why. How could he cut off his waist? An illusory figure turned its back to him and slowly wiped the blood-stained knife. "Who is your excellency?" Ning Tao did not die immediately. His eyes widened. "Who is this person? Why target our Ning family? When did the Ning family provoke such a strong person? It actually has the strength of the fusion realm." The illusory figure gradually solidified, a handsome woman wearing red armor. Her mouth did not open, but she made a domineering sound. "Whoever offends my brother, die." The hearts of the people were shocked. At this time, the change in the situation of the scene made them unable to digest it for a while. Yuanjie, Ning Tao's face was terrifyingly pale, and he was about to swallow his breath, and he used all his strength to say the last sentence. "Aren't you in Jingcheng, I blanch? Is this the old sister? Good lady's domineering." Yuanjie's eyes are starry. With such a strong sister, he can't walk arrogantly in the future? Dao Man from the 6th Dao Academy was pleasantly surprised. "Yuanjie, can your spirit object condense into an entity?" The handsome woman nodded. Then she turned around and glanced coldly at the crowd. "Spirit objects have no pupils, but why?" Everyone feels a cold chill. "Whoever insults my brother, the Jin family, will die today. Ning family, you guys are so yourselves." After saying these words, the handsome woman was illusory again and disappeared in front of everyone's eyes. The remaining 13 people of the Ning family did not dare to come out, although they could not see the cultivation of that spirit object, but they instinctively felt that they could not beat it. The other family members frowned. They didn't like the Yuan family sisters and brothers being so arrogant. Didn't they just say 2 words? Destroy the whole family at every turn. However, Yuanjie's cultivation is a mystery. Even the people of the 6th Dao Academy do not know how strong she is now. Just now, the spirit object could be condensed into an entity, and this alone, they had to be cautious. In the long history of mankind, I have never heard of spiritual objects that can condense into entities. Yuanjie, this is opening up a new realm. What to do? Laozu? The K family's children trembled and secretly transmitted. The ancestor of the K family took a deep breath. His heart was very uncalm. "I already knew that Yuanjie would grow so strong, and I should have started it in the first place. And her younger brother Yuanjie, like her, is an SSS-level physique. Once the 2 perverts know what happened back then, will their K family still have a way to live?" The ancestor of the K family pretended to be calm and said, "Don't panic, there is no visit in the depths of the secret realm. As long as he dies, no one knows that we did it." Laozu's words made the K family feel calm. Dead people can't speak. No matter who died, they won't suspect their K family. At this time, a sound transmission spirit bird flew by, and Wang Qing took down the spirit bird and removed the token tied to the bird's leg. In large families, general important information is transmitted through spirit beasts, and mobile phone communication is not secure after all. The flying spirit beast is extremely fast, and it is not a problem to travel thousands of miles every day. Wang Qing opened the token, and her expression was shocked. Her father looked at her suspiciously and asked, "What's wrong?" Wang Qing's towering chest rose and fell up and down. Her expression was cold, and she handed the token to her father. After his father Wang Ruhu saw the information inside, his eyes flashed with killing intent. His right hand condensed spiritual power, and a fire dragon destroyed the huge stone ball 100 meters high in Jianghu No. 1 Middle School. The Ning family's face changed, and someone accused Wang Ruhu. "What does your Wang family mean?" Wang Ruhu didn't say much, snorted coldly, and led his subordinates to disappear. The situation changed again, and no one expected that it was the Jingcheng royal family who finally mended the knife. The stone balls scattered, and a strangely shaped corpse fell out inside, and the death was extremely tragic. The Wang family ran to the big pit and burned all the bodies of the Jin family with fire. Then Wang Ruhu's voice came from all around. "From now on, the Wang family declares war on the Jin family. Ning family, you guys are so yourselves. Don't get caught by us." The rest of the family suddenly fell into deep thought. Really? What Yuanjie just said is true. I'm blanching, won't I? How else? The Jin family is not small. If the Wang family declares war on it, the price is quite large. If it were not for those things, it would definitely be impossible not to die. Just now, Yuanjie pointed out Jin Feng's 10 deadly sins, and 7 of them are related to the Wang family, either Green Wang family men, or Plant Wang family women. If I were the Wang family, I wouldn't be able to stand it. Wang Qing gazed deeply at Yuanjie, who was still lying in Li Tiansha's arms, and turned to follow his father and leave. Many parents of students never expected that they could actually eat melons when they came to watch a play. It's just that eating melons and watching the play is risky, and there are still 10 parents' corpses lying on the ground. Their children were crying as they held the corpse in grief, and everyone sighed in unison. What about broad daylight? What about seeing it with your own eyes? What about human life? Can you beat the children of the family? Can you fight the power of the family? The teachers of Jianghu No. 1 Middle School came out to comfort them. The seeds of hatred have been planted in the hearts of secular people, and if they don't say it, if they don't fight, it doesn't mean they forget. Yuanjie's face gradually improved, but he still didn't want to get up. Well, the body of the skull flower is so fragrant, Li Tiansha has been holding for more than an hour, and his hands are sore. Xingjun walked over worriedly and wanted to help Yuanjie up, but saw the other party wink at her. Seconds understand. Xingjun quietly left with Dao Man. How long will it take for you to get up? People want you to kiss before they can get up. Li Tiansha's face changed, and he knew that this goods was loading. HMPH, she dropped him and turned away. Yuanjie quickly got up, ran to Li Tiansha's side with a playful smile and said, "What's wrong? Hold it and you won't lose a piece of meat." "Ignore you. Villain. Just know to bully me. Then I'm going to bully others." "Not either," Li Tiansha blurted out, and then his cheeks turned crimson, and he quickly denied, "It's good if you go. I don't bully anyone but you." Yuanjie leaned close to her ear and whispered. Syllable. Unexpectedly, in just 3 seconds, he hit the telephone pole. After Li Tiansha saw it, he burst into laughter like a copper bell. Jingchen. Yuanjie slowly opened her eyes, just now possessed the spirit object, and the loss to her was quite great. Seeing his return, the spirit objects around him respectfully saluted. "Master." Yuanjie was originally lying on her side. She straightened up and stretched, revealing wonderful curves. She sat down with her legs crossed and ordered the spirit object below. "By key, you go to Jin's house." Extinguished, the white gold-armored man knelt down on one knee with a sigh, bowed his head and answered, "Yes," then disappeared into the palace. Chapter 25. Today was originally the day of the preliminary examination of the spiritual power exam, but due to some situation, the principal Wang Gaozhen had to postpone it indefinitely. Other cities were forced to postpone it together. No way, this is a national exam, and all students will enter the same secret realm for assessment. This incident led to a lot of complaints, but since it was jointly stated by the higher education institutions, it was fine. Yuanjie and Li Tiansha were walking home on their way. Suddenly he called, "Sister? Sister? Sister? Are you there?" Li Tiansha looked at him suspiciously. Didn't Sister Yuanjie's spirit object leave? At this time, in front of the two, a woman in red armor appeared. "Young master," she saluted respectfully. Yuanjie narrowed his eyes, and sure enough, he asked lightly, "You were sent by my sister to protect us, right? What is your name?" "Back to young master, you can call me Mulan." The ancient history of this world is similar to his previous life. The difference is that most of the ancient times were refining, and until modern times, a physique similar to the Dharma royal system gradually appeared. "How strong are you now, Mulan?" Fusion Realm 9th Order, Yuanjie gasped. He didn't expect his sister to be so strong. In just 3 years, he could already summon a 9th Order spirit object of the Fusion Realm. He touched his chin and pondered, could it be, the old sister is the protagonist? After hearing this, Li Tiansha's face turned red. In just 3 years, the gap between her and Yuanjie was so wide. She is an F-class physique, and Yuanjie is an SSS class. However, Li Tiansha was not depressed by this. Her gaze was burning and becoming more determined. "You must run 1,000 laps tonight." Li Tiansha has always done what she said. She secretly tied the weight at the ankles, and felt the pressure between her legs. She took a deep breath and stepped forward step by step. As always, Yuanjie lay on the grass with his eyes closed, and when ordinary people saw it, they thought he was asleep. In fact, he is opening the system panel. This morning, when he sucked the Jin family into the air with the move of the celestial star, He secretly used the Vientiane celestial citation and pocketed all their money bags. How can you not take some interest? People are dying and their words are good, and the Jin family will definitely thank him. Although they died, the money continued to shine in the hands of Yuanjie, and the spirit lived on. There are a total of 15 money bags, of which the rich family owner Jin Yaoxing is the richest. There are actually 30,000 gold spirit coins in it. I drop obediently. This huge amount of money is enough to squander it for a long time. Unfortunately, the Earth Explosion Heavenly Star, like the 8 gates of Dunjia, cannot strengthen the level. This evening, just as the weekly card expires, the system will pop up after the renewal is completed. At present, the amount of recharge and use has reached 10,000 gold spirit coins. Congratulations to the host for reaching V1 nobility. Gift packs with rich rewards V1 privilege. You can get 1 day of cultivation acceleration card every week. Yuanjie quickly took the gift bag and opened it to see what good things there were. That's it, a fragment of a leapfrog divine technique? You call this reward rich? In addition, there are 10 bottles of cultivation level experience potions and 3 bottles of battle teleportation spiritual power potions. Yuanjie was speechless, and sure enough, he couldn't believe a word of the system. He extracted the cultivation experience potion and killed all of Golem. The taste is not bad, with a fresh mixture of floral and fruity aromas. His spiritual power level suddenly rose to the 8th order of Heisei. It probably only takes 5 more bottles of experience potion to reach the 9th order. Feeling the sourness of the upgrade, Yuanjie stood up and stretched, moving his muscles a little. He fixed his eyes and saw that Li Tiansha was still insisting on running, but his steps were struggling. She is using the most primitive method to exercise and upgrade, although it is very slow, but the effect is remarkable. It's just that this is too hard, and ordinary people really can't stick to it. Li Tiansha did not run 1,000 laps and fell to the ground tired. Yuanjie hurried over to see her. She waved her hand and said, "No need, I can walk by myself." He picked her up, accidentally touched somewhere, and froze in place. "What's wrong?" "It's okay." Yuanjie frowned. How did it seem to be different from what he imagined? "Isn't she?" He couldn't help but want to open his eyes to observe and make sure, but he held back. "Forget it, no matter what she is still the one I like." This relationship began in a previous life, and Li Tiansha in this world looks exactly the same as the original world, and his personality is similar. After all, she is just her shadow. For her, it's very unfair. Now, Yuanjie figured it out. He chose to forget the woman in his previous life and seriously like Li Tiansha in this world. After so many days of getting along, he found that she had many shining points in this world. Every point poked his G-spot. Let me ask, who doesn't like a beautiful girl who is hardworking and kind, lively and cheerful, and tenacious? What's more, she has a face exactly the same as her crush on the school flower in her previous life. What happened in Jianghu No. 1 this morning caused an uproar at all levels of the entire Great Xia Kingdom. Daxia has been calm for many years, and it has not been so lively for a long time. Jin Changjin's family, at the top of half a day, people will go to tea cold. Even standing 10 miles away, the fishy smell emanating from the Jin family's land could still be clearly heard. The 3 major families jointly surrounded and suppressed. The Wang family and the Jin family had a feud. As for the Huangfu family and the Yu family, they did not know. Maybe for the sake of interests, the family's strength is so strong, you have to find an opportunity to come out and wander around. Among them, a figure in platinum armor killed particularly hard, and with a flick of the scythe, it took away more than a dozen masters. It was like death descending, leaving nightmare memories in the hearts of many onlookers. The ancestor of the Wang family, who had the strength of the 6th order in the evening, personally led the team to kill the door, and the second ancestor of the Jin family had to come out to face the battle. The second ancestor of the Jin family saw such a miserable situation when he forcibly left the customs, and he almost fainted in front of him. He volleyed into the sky and shouted at the opposite side, "Wang Badian, what are you doing? What do you mean to slaughter my people?" The ancestor of the Wang family said indifferently, "Your descendants Jin Feng insulted my clan and killed my clan. Do you say it should be, since he did it alone, and it can't hurt his family, you execute him on the spot, you mention the number, and this matter is over." "How? It's not a pity, he died, not in the hands of my Wang family. We are unhappy in our hearts, come to kill your Jin family to vent their anger." It's a strong word. The second ancestor of the Jin family was shaky and cold. The three strong families no longer talk nonsense. There was no excuse before, and now the reason for the war is fully reasonable. After the demise of the Jin family, the domain property will be divided between the Wang, Huanfu, and Yu families. Yuanjie, put down what you have in your hand. This is not what you should take. Byakugan raised his head and stared at the people of the three major families with blank eyes. You say I'm not worthy. Let me ask, the three of you have been paddling. Do you kill more Jin family masters than me? Yuanjie's voice came from Byakugan's body. Jin Chengkei's family replied, no matter how much or not, the Jin family's belongings already belong to me. Please leave. So what if I want to take a part of me? Then stay here forever. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.